A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Palmolive Soap, your beauty hope, and Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous, caressable hair bring you Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden. Our Miss Brooks teaches English at Madison High School, and like many other teachers, started a brand new semester last Monday.
And like many other teachers, I attended a faculty meeting Monday afternoon. Here, our beloved principal, Osgood Conklin, gave me my semi-annual pat on the back. Then I picked myself up and walked back across the room. And he instituted his new crackdown plan. More discipline, less horseplay, everybody toe the line, run the school in an orderly manner. After this mirth-provoking monologue, he chewed up a little furniture and stalked out. Well, maybe it was the faculty meeting, or then again, maybe it was the watercress and cucumber sandwich I had before retiring. At any rate, I remember lying in bed Monday night and dozing off, when suddenly I seemed to be awakened by a loud pounding at my door. What is it? Who's there?
It is I, Osgood Conklin, your beloved principal. I'm coming in.
Mr. Conklin, is anything wrong?
Wrong? There's plenty wrong. We've got to crack down. More discipline. Less horseplay. Everybody toe the line. Run the school in an orderly manner.
But, Mr. Conklin, is this your idea of less horseplay? I was fast asleep.
Oh, then I hope I'm not disturbing you.
I'll go right on sleeping.
Good. Miss Brooks, I've got to talk to you.
Well, pull up a cucumber sandwich and sit down.
Thank you.
Mr. Conklin, you're biting the arm of my chair.
Yes, so I am. Sorry, but you know how I get when I'm upset. Now then, Miss Brooks, we've got to have more discipline. Got to have discipline. Got to have discipline. Got to have discipline. You hear me, Miss Brooks?
I just heard 4 of you.
You're right. There are 4 of me. More discipline, Conklin. Less horseplay, Conklin. Toe the line, Conklin. And run the school in an orderly manner, Conklin.
I wish I could add just one more.
Which one?
Rest in peace, Conklin.
Enough of these pleasantries, Miss Brooks. As you know, our profession teaches us that we must learn by doing. So, here we go. Everybody up, 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 up. Rise and shine. Leave the sack.
Leave the sack? Mr. Conklin, are you telling me to get up now?
Miss Brooks, do I have to dump your bed?
No, sir, I'm getting up.
Now then, setting up exercises. Hands on shoulders. Place. Now touch the floor. 1, 2...
Sound off.
3, 4...
Open the door.
5, 6...
Why don't I pick up some sticks and beat him over the head with them?
You're nervous, Miss Brooks. Overwrought. You should get more rest.
Oh, now we're on the same side. I'll get back in bed, and you just fade into the woodwork.
Not so fast, young woman. First, we must practice our daily hair treatment. Hands on head. Place. Now then, rub. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
How is that, Mr. Conklin? Am I doing it right?
Oh, it feels great, Miss Brooks. I should have 8 new hairs by Monday. Keep it up.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Time to get up, Connie.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Connie.
1.
Why are you massaging that pillow?
It's got to have 8 new hairs by morning.
Connie, wake up.
Huh? Oh, has he gone?
Has who gone?
Oh, just forget about it, Mrs. Davis. It isn't important.
On the contrary, I think it's intriguing. Has who gone?
Please, Mrs. Davis, it was just one of my nightmares.
Oh, was it a bad one, dear?
It was in Technicolor and starred Osgood Conklin. I spent half the night rehearsing how to get up in the morning. That's why I was so nervous when you woke me.
Oh, I know how dreams can affect you, dear, but you must put them out of your mind when you wake up. Why, I had some bad dreams last night myself.
You did?
Yes, I was in a jungle somewhere surrounded by lions and tigers. But if my cat Minerva walked in now, I wouldn't jump up on the chandelier.
I mean, you must have better control of your nerves than I have. See if we need any new bulbs up there, Mrs. Davis. Minerva, where in the world did you come from?
Oh, I haven't told her about that yet, Connie. She's only a kitten.
Well, you'd better have a little talk with her. She's been running around with a pretty old crowd.
Oh, please, Connie, don't talk that way in front of her. Minerva's very high-strung.
Yes, I know. Lately, that cat's been as jumpy as a person.
Now, let's forget about nerves and bad dreams and hurry in for a nice breakfast. I've got a brand new secret recipe for you.
A secret recipe, Mrs. Davis?
Yes. If I tell you how I'm making your eggs this morning, will you keep it under your hat?
Well, it may get my hairdo a little icky, but I'll try.
I'm making you a delicious watercress and cucumber omelet.
Oh, no. That's what started my nightmare. Besides, I haven't time to eat breakfast now, Mrs. Davis. Walter Denton's picking me up any minute.
How come Walter's calling for you today? Your car isn't in the repair shop again, is it?
No, but I decided not to drive for a while after picking up a couple of hitchhikers last Saturday.
But, Connie, why should that discourage you from driving?
I picked him up on my bumper.
Would you lean over toward my side of the car a little more, please, Miss Brooks?
Why, Walter Denton, what have you in mind?
Oh, it's nothing personal. I just want to get a good look at you in my rear view mirror. Yup, it's just as I thought. You look harassed. Harassed and bedeviled. Yeah, but lovely.
Well, thank you, Walter. Sort of.
Especially your eyes. Even though there are a few temporary crow's feet caused by worry in the corners.
They're just huddling together for warmth. But, Walter, to what do I owe these backhanded gallantries?
Yeah, I was afraid you might take exception to my frankness. But I mean it all for your own good, Miss Brooks. If I have been less voluble concerning your obvious charms in the past, know, too, that I have been less voluble about the human frailties which you, like all mankind, have sometimes fallen heir to. Except, then, my plea for leniency.
I'll grant you a full pardon if you'll tell me what you're talking about.
Of course. Sometimes I get carried away by my own words.
You just used enough of them to carry away Sidney Greenstreet. Just what are you trying to wheedle out of me, Walter?
Well, now that you mention it, there is something you can do to help both of us out.
I thought so. What is it?
Well, it's like this. Since this is a new term, you, like several of the other teachers, will be assigned to the stockroom during your free period to take inventory and give out supplies.
I see. And what does my good friend Raffles have in mind? We split a carload of pencils and retire?
Oh, no, Miss Brooks. My motives are purely altruistic. I merely want to assist an already overburdened teacher whose heart and spirit are big and willing, but whose mind and body may not long stand the strain put upon it by the forthcoming scholastic hassle.
Walter, if Olivia de Havilland gets the Academy Award, you was robbed. Now come clean. What's your cut in the projected Madison High School stockroom swindle?
Cut? Oh, Miss Brooks, I'm surprised at you. Surprised and chagrined. Oh, when I think of your sense of integrity, your honesty...
Please, Walter, if you polish this apple any more, it'll be too slippery to pick up. Now, come to the point, Walter.
Well, whoever helps out in the stockroom gets first choice of the textbooks, right?
Right. And you want to help me so you can get yourself the brand new books, nice and clean, right?
Wrong. I want the old ones with the answers already penciled in. Now, why did I let that slip out? Oh, but you can see it my way, can't you? Sometimes in the impenetrable forest of education, the path is easier seen if someone has cleared the underbrush.
Yes, but you're asking for a free ride on the bulldozer. Don't you think it would be better if you relied on your own work, Walter? After all, with an old book, you could be copying somebody else's mistakes.
Anybody's mistakes are better than mine.
Well, if you put it that way, Walter.
Gee, thanks, Miss Brooks. Well, here we are.
Thanks for the lift, Walter. I'll run along in now. Oops. Ooh.
Gosh, Miss Brooks, didn't you see that mud puddle?
Of course I did. I just thought it might be fun to go wading.
Can I help you scrape off the mud?
Well, I haven't time now. If I can just sneak by Mr. Conklin's office, I'll clean up when I get to my room.
But suppose you can't sneak by his office.
That, Walter, I refuse to contemplate. Believe me, if Mr. Conklin sees me tripping through the hall on these 2 lumps of mud, my name will be Shoes.
Starring Eve Arden will continue in just a moment. But first, here is Vern Smith. Regardless of age, skin type, or previous beauty care, doctors prove you too may win a lovelier complexion with Palmolive soap.
But to win this lovelier complexion, you must stop improper cleansing. Instead, use Palmolive the way doctors advise.
36 doctors, leading skin specialists, advise using Palmolive soap this way for 1,285 women with all types of skin. Young, old, dry, oily, normal. And using Palmolive soap alone, nothing but Palmolive. 2 out of 3 won lovelier complexions. Oily skin looked less oily. Dull, drab skin wonderfully brighter. Coarse-looking skin appeared finer. Even tiny blemishes, incipient blackheads, disappeared or improved. Now here's what the doctors advised.
Wash your face with Palmolive soap 3 times a day. Massage with Palmolive's wonderful beauty lather for 60 seconds each time to get its full beautifying effect. Then rinse.
Look for improvement in your complexion within 14 days. For doctors prove this way, using Palmolive alone really works. So forget all other beauty care. Get Palmolive soap and start today to win a lovelier complexion.
For loveliness all over, use big, thrifty bath-size Palmolive in your tub or shower.
And now, while our Miss Brooks is quietly sloshing down the corridor in her muddy pumps, let's look in on Mr. Conklin, Madison's beloved principal, and adjust our wavelength to his stream of consciousness.
So we come to the start of another school day. A nice muggy one at that, as if I needed bad weather to make me irritable. The teachers in this school have simply got... Now, who's that tracking her dirty shoes through our hallowed halls? Think she's going to sneak past my office, does she? Well, we'll just wait till she's even with the door. And then... Hold! Who goes there?
You, Mr. Conklin. How are things in the principal's office?
Fine, thank you. How are things in the Everglades? Just take those shoes off and step in here for a moment, Miss Brooks. I want to talk to you.
Yes, sir.
Do you by any chance remember what I told the faculty at the meeting yesterday?
Oh, certainly, Mr. Conklin. I've been going over it in my mind all night, remember?
Remember? Of course, I remember what was discussed at the meeting. The question is, do you?
Oh, indeed I do, Mr. Conklin, every word. We've got to have more horseplay and less discipline.
What's that?
I mean, we've got to crack up. Crack down.
I won't have a repetition of last term's lack of discipline. There's only one way to run a school, and that's
in an orderly manner.
Exactly. Naturally, I need the cooperation of my staff. Hence,
everybody's got to toe the line.
Yes. There's no reason why things shouldn't go off like clockwork. 1, 2...
Sound off! Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Conklin. It's just that I spent a rather restless night. In fact, we both did. That is, I'm still a bit upset.
Well, there's nothing like concentrating on one's work to settle one's nerves. When is your first free period?
Right after lunch. I figured I'd get a good rest then.
I think not, Miss Brooks. I penciled you in for the stockroom at that time.
Oh. Well, they have a lot of erasers in there. Maybe we could rub me out.
No,
I guess not.
We're extremely short of supplies, Miss Brooks, so I want you to check every requisition very carefully before handing them out. And if for any reason you have to leave the stockroom, you know what to do?
Raise my hand?
You lock the door. Is that clear?
Yes, Mr. Conklin, I locked the door. Well, I'll be running along now.
One moment, Miss Brooks. Haven't you forgotten something?
Oh, yes. Rub 2, 3, 4. Rub
Miss
2.
Brooks, get your fingers out of my head.
I thought lunch period would never get here, Mr. Boynton.
Oh, me either. I'm starved. Yeah, I'll just put our tray down and sit opposite you. There. Now, it's funny how we happened to bump into each other at the entrance of the cafeteria. Quite a coincidence.
Yes, it was. Of course, I had to run a little. But I think it's nice to have someone take you to lunch, don't you?
Yes, I do, Miss Brooks. It was grand of you to ask me. Would you mind passing my soup over, please?
Here you are, Mr. Boynton.
Nothing like a good hot plate of soup to warm you up. I said that laboratory of mine's like an igloo. Even my hands are freezing.
Let's feel them. Say, they are cold.
Yours are nice and warm. How'd they get that way?
I had them in your soup. You know, it's a shame we don't have a better heating system in this school. Especially in the biology lab with all those little mice and rabbits and students.
You're right, Miss Brooks. I was talking to Mr. Jensen, the janitor, about it, and he's promised to speak to Mr. Conklin and get him to inspect the system himself. You see, I have a lot of electrical appliances in the lab now, but none of them give off much heat. I've got to have another outlet if I'm to attach any other...
Excuse me, Mr. Boynton. Hi, Miss Brooks.
Hello, Walter.
Thought we'd better be getting down to the stockroom. I don't want you to get nervous when the requisitions start pouring in.
Or the books with the answers in them start pouring out, Well, all right, Walter, we might as well get going. Will you excuse me, Mr. Boynton?
Oh, sure, Miss Brooks. And even though you asked me to lunch, I don't want you to worry about the check.
Oh, well, that's very nice of you.
I'll pay my own, Miss Brooks. You just take care of yours.
Well, the worst part of the supply rush is over, Miss Brooks. And now we can sort of take inventory of the surplus stuff that we can use. That is, you can use for your class.
Like what, Walter?
Oh, paper, pencils, staplers. They bring 40 to 50 cents on the outside. And I really need one for my schoolwork. And then there are inkwells, paper clips. This stockroom is only 2 doors from your room, Miss Brooks. Why don't I get an armful of stuff and stash it away under your desk right now?
Walter, I am an English teacher, not a fence. There's no such thing as surplus in the school system. Everything has to be requisitioned. And... Wait a minute, what's this?
That's an electric heater, Miss Brooks.
An electric heater, Why, that's just what Mr. Boynton needs for his lab. I know what. I'll hook it up right now and surprise him.
But what about a requisition?
Walter, can I trust you?
Oh, you know you can, Miss Brooks.
Of course, and I do. So if you'll keep quiet about this heater, I'll get you a requisition for a brand new stapler.
Gee, that's swell of you, Miss Brooks. Now I can take this one out of the lining of my jacket.
Well, Harriet, where's the heater I sent you for?
It wasn't there, Daddy. I looked all over the stockroom, but there wasn't a trace of it.
Did you ask Miss Brooks about it?
Miss Brooks wasn't there. Nobody was there.
And the door was open? No wonder my heater's missing. I distinctly told her. Now what? Come in.
Excuse me, Mr. Conklin, but I've got to talk to you right away.
Oh, hello, Mr. Jensen.
Hello, Harriet.
I better be going now, Daddy. I've got a class in a few minutes.
All right, Harriet. Now, what is it, Jensen? I'm rather busy right now.
Oh, this is important, sir. As custodian of the building, I feel it's my duty.
You feel what is your duty?
To tell you, sir.
To tell me what?
Please, Mr. Conklin, don't shout. That's one of the reasons.
That's one of the reasons for what?
For your high blood pressure. Now, when I was your age...
Never mind that now. What do you want to see me about?
Biological laboratory. The furnace vent isn't large enough to heat that big room. It's so cold in there, Mr. Boynton's had to put earmuffs on the rabbits. We've got to build another outlet.
Outlets cost money, Jensen. We'll requisition another heater. Meanwhile, I've got to find the
when
one
you
that
got to put earmuffs on rabbits, brother, you're in trouble. Besides, if an electric heater is hooked onto the present wiring setup, it can cause a short.
Well, tell me about it another time.
And even worse than a short, Mr. Conklin, it might start a fire.
I don't like to censure you, Mr. Jensen, but you are an alarmist.
Yes, sir.
Now I'm going down to that stockroom and wait in back of it for Miss Brooks to return. I'll teach her to leave doors open.
I'm glad we set up the heater in here before Mr. Boynton came back, Walter.
Yeah, he'll sure be surprised, I bet. Come on, Miss Brooks. Oh, there's the next class. I've got you in English this period.
That's a coincidence, Walter. I've got you, too. Oh, Walter, here's the stockroom and the door's still ajar. Didn't you lock it when we left?
No, I thought you did.
Give me that key. There. Mr. Conklin would have a fit if he found this door open. All right, class. Your next question is as follows. In The Mill on the Floss, George Eliot writes about a gentleman who is often compared with a gentleman in Silas Marner. Who is that gentleman?
Are you talking about a fictional gentleman or George Eliot himself?
Himself? Walter, it happens that she wasn't exactly a gentleman.
So what? He was a darn good writer.
Next question. Goodness, that heating system is really noisy.
Hello? Hello?
Why, it's the voice. It's coming out of the vent here.
What? Quiet a minute. Let me listen.
Hello? Hello there? Can you hear me?
Sure. What time's the break set for? Who are you?
It sounds like Daddy. Daddy, can you hear us? Yes. Get me out of here.
He must be stuck in the furnace.
Nonsense, Walter. He was going to inspect the heating system. He's probably just stuck in a pipe somewhere. In a pipe somewhere? Oh, I'll go call the fire department. Harriet, you stay here and chat with your father. Why, Mr. Boynton, what made you ring the gong for a fire drill?
Well, I heard you calling the fire department, and I thought...
Oh, but that's not for a fire. Mr. Conklin's stuck in a pipe somewhere, and I just called the department to get him out.
Well, most of the kids are out in the street by now. I better go keep them in line. A little extra preparedness won't hurt any. Stuck in a pipe?
Oh, I'd better get back to my own room now. Uh-oh, here come the firemen.
Well, here we are. Where's the fire?
Right this way, Chief.
Here, come on, men.
There isn't any fire, really. You see, it's just that somebody's caught in a pipe.
Caught in a pipe? For this, I left a hand with 100 aces and a double pinochle in it?
Oh, please do something. My daddy's stuck somewhere. You've got to get him out.
Well, where is he?
Well, he was coming in over this vent here very clearly.
All right, let's get at this thing with our picks, man.
Oh, my. Walter! Walter, there's enough confusion around here as it is.
Okay.
Go tell Mr. Boynton to send all the children home immediately.
Okay, Miss Brooks.
Keep going, man. We've got to get him out of that pipe.
I wonder where most of them are. Oh, what's that? That seems to be coming from the stockroom. Hey, it is in here. Well, let's see now. Did Miss Brooks give me back the key? Oh, yeah. Here it is.
Walter Denton, can I lay this crime at your door?
No, sir. 2 doors down. Well, see you later. I got orders to go home with the others.
Well, we'll find out about this. What's going on here, Miss Brooks?
How could... Who did... When did he... What is...
Please, I'll explain it all later. Right now, we've got to get Mr. Conklin out of this pipe. He's... Mr. Conklin!
Oh, Daddy, thank goodness you're safe.
Hello, Harriet.
Stop that banging! What do you mean, stop? The principal's got himself stuck and we got to get the knucklehead out.
For your information, I'm the knucklehead who's stuck. I'm the principal of this school.
Mr. Conklin, how did you get out of the pipe?
I was never in the pipe.
But we heard you. You yelled, "Get me out of here."
Yeah, what's the idea of yelling, "Get me out of here," if you're not stuck in here?
I was locked in the stockroom. Obviously, this heater vent connects with the vent in there, and as any idiot could figure out...
Well, how does any idiot get himself locked in a stockroom?
That will be all of that. I've had enough abuse from the fire department.
Yes, we've had enough abuse from the fire department.
Quiet, Miss Brooks. Now then, fireman, please remove your pickaxe from the school woodwork.
Well, you needn't get so huffy. After all, it only makes a little hole. Here, I'll take it out.
Just what we needed, a larger classroom.
Now then, Miss Brooks, I want some explanations, and I want them fast.
Yes, sir.
Who locked me in the storeroom? Where are all the students? Who called the fire department?
Yeah, that's what I'd like to know. Don't you realize that these false alarms cost the city money? Now we gotta pack all our stuff up.
What are all you firemen standing around for? Why don't you do something?
Relax, Mr. Boynton. Mr. Conklin's out now. There's nothing left to do.
Nothing left to do, but my lab is on fire.
What?
That's more like it. Come on, man!
Well, Miss Brooks, that leaves just you and me. You and me and one more question.
What's that, Mr. Conklin?
Did you happen to run across an electric heater in the stockroom?
Yes, I did.
And did you happen to connect it anywhere? Like Mr. Boynton's laboratory, for instance?
Yes, I did.
A funny thing about that. I was told by Mr. Jensen just this morning that another electrical appliance on that circuit would cause a fire. Now, you've got to be punished, Miss Brooks. You hear me?
You've got to be punished!
Where are you going, Miss Brooks?
To take a cold shower. This is the longest nightmare I've ever had.
Returns in just a moment, but first...
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl.
Tonight, show him how much lovelier your hair can look after a Luster Cream shampoo. Only Luster Cream brings you K-Duma's magic formula blend of secret ingredients plus gentle lanolin. Gives loveliness lather even in hardest water. Glamorizes your hair as you wash it. Luster Cream. Not a soap, not a liquid, but a dainty cream shampoo. Leaves hair fragrantly clean, free of loose dandruff, glistening with sheen. Soft, manageable. Gives new beauty to all hairdos or permanents. 4-ounce jar, $1. Smaller sizes, either tubes or jars. Tonight, try Luster Cream shampoo and be a dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl. You owe your crowning glory to a Luster Cream shampoo. And now, once again, here is our Miss Brooks.
Well, it wasn't much of a fire, and as soon as they put it out, one of the firemen got a hook and ladder, climbed up, and brought Mr. Conklin's blood pressure down. When he was slightly more rational, he called me into his office again.
Miss Brooks, since Mr. Boynton failed to remind me about the electric hazard in the biology laboratory, I have decided that he is almost as guilty as you are.
Oh, but Mr. Conklin, he
Silence. You, Miss Brooks, will stay after school and help Mr. Boynton clean up the debris those firemen left behind. I don't care if it keeps you both here all evening.
Mr. Conklin, is that my punishment for starting the fire?
Exactly.
Got a match?
Our Miss Brooks Show, brought to you by Palmolive Soap, Your Beauty Hope, and Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous, caressable hair. Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, is produced by Larry Burns, written and directed by Al Lewis, with music by Wilbur Hatch.
Men, here is actual, factual proof of more comfortable, actually smoother shaves by using Palmolive Lather Shaving Cream. 1,251 men tried the Palmolive Lather way to shave described on the tube, and no matter how they shaved before, 3 out of 4 got more comfortable, actually smoother shaves. Try Palmolive Lather Shaving Cream. See if you don't get more comfortable, actually smoother shaves the Palmolive Lather Shaving Cream way.
Listen to our Miss Brooks next week over CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Now, medical science offers you proof positive. Yes, medical science offers you proof positive.
No other cigarette is safer to smoke because no other gives you less nicotine, less throat-irritating tars than the new, smoother, better-tasting Raleigh.
The Raleigh Cigarette Program, starring Red Skelton, with David Forrester and his orchestra, our singing star Anita Ellis, Verna Felton, Pat McGeehan, and yours truly, Rod O'Connor. It's a pleasure to bring you Metro Goldwyn Mayer's popular comedian and the star of the Raleigh Cigarette Program, Red Skelton.
Thank you very much, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are things with you tonight, Rod?
Oh, just wonderful, Red. But you're not yourself tonight. You're running around with your nose higher than the price of eggs. Did you inherit $1 million?
No, nothing trivial like that. I just rented a house.
Gee, Red, can I touch you?
Yeah, not too hard. This suit's kind of old, you know.
Well, where's it located, Red?
It's out in the suburbs. Suburbs, that's French for long bus rides. I'll tell you how you get out there. You go out to Sepulveda. There's a new district out there.
Yeah?
You get off the bus, go by 3 bad investments, and I'm the first golden opportunity on the left.
Was it one of those big Hollywood homes?
Nah, big. The living room's so small, every time I blink my eyes, my lashes streak the walls. I wasn't going to buy one of those big places that sold for $50,000, but when I went back, after giving them a deposit, they had raised the price to $75,000.
What did you do about it?
Well, I made them give me back my $2 deposit.
Well, is your house built well, Red?
Oh, you should see the wallpaper. It's the latest thing from Sears and Roebuck.
Oh, something new in wallpaper, Red.
No, something new in catalogs, Rod. There's one good thing about my house. I'll never have to worry about termites. I heard 2 of them talking as they were passing the house. One looked up and he says, "Shall we go in for lunch?" The other one says, "Not me. I got pride."
Well, does the place have hot and cold running water?
Yeah, you have to run next door for both.
So you finally found a place to live, Red?
Yes, I did, Anita.
Well, in that case, may I please have my YWCA pass back?
You proud of that, ain't you?
Well, I'm glad you found a place, Red. I was going to get you one of those little prefabricated houses.
Oh, I had one of those for a while. You know, it only takes 3 hours to put them up. Of course, you have to put them up every 3 hours. Hey, they're wonderful. They don't take up much room, you know. Some of those apartments are so small that the room folds into the wall when you're not using it.
Do you have a nice view, Red?
Well, the back window looks right out at the neighbor's clothesline.
That's no good.
Well, it depends on who's washing that day.
Well, I hope you'll be happy, Red.
Oh, I will. You know, there for a while I was living in the trunk of a tree.
Alone?
Well, I was at first, then a skunk moved in with me.
Well, what happened?
The OPA got wind of it and made him move.
Well, I bet living in a tree was rather fun.
Oh, it was rather pleasant, Rod. I had my meals served in bed, you know.
In bed?
Yeah, a friendly little squirrel used to bring me an acorn every morning. I used to make my own toast every morning.
Did you have a toaster?
No, I used to put a piece of bread... I used to put a piece of bread between 2 pages of Forever Amber and it toasted it. Oh, by the way, Rod, Mr. Raleigh said I should remind you of an important message. Well, old boy?
Yes, Red, it is important. Now, medical science offers you proof positive. Yes, medical science offers you proof positive.
No other leading cigarette is safer to smoke because no other gives you less nicotine, less throat-irritating tars than the new, smoother, better-tasting Raleigh.
Yes, exhaustive scientific tests of America's 6 biggest-selling brands, certified by 14 distinguished doctors, including eminent throat specialists, have just proved conclusively. No other leading cigarette gives you less nicotine, less throat-irritating tars. So no other is actually safer to smoke. See if you don't agree, Raleigh's are right. Right for taste, right for throat. Try Raleigh's. Enjoy Raleigh's rich tobacco, that milder, smoother, more satisfying Raleigh flavor. Remember, medical science now offers you proof positive.
No other cigarette is safer to smoke because no other gives you less nicotine, less throat-irritating tars than the new, smoother, better-tasting Raleigh.
Thank you, gentlemen. And now our lovely Anita Ellis sings Day by Day.
Day by day, I'm falling more in love with you. And day by day, my love seems to grow. There isn't any end to my devotion. It's deeper, dear, by far than any ocean. I find that day by day you're making all my dreams come true. So come what may, I want you to know I'm yours alone, and I'm in love to stay as we go through the years, day by day. I'm yours alone, and I'm in love to stay as we go through the years, day by day.
Thank you very much, Anita. Tonight we open the story from the Skelton Scrapbook of Satire, and it's entitled Meeting Strangers. Our characters are fictional. If there's any similarity to persons living, don't worry, there's a game law that protects you. Chapter 85 of Meeting Strangers is entitled War Brides. This is the story of an ex-wave debutante and her GI husband, J. Newton Numbskull, on their way to meet her folks for the first time.
Oh, just think, Newton, you're my husband and I'm your wife.
Yeah, this is our honeymoon. Let's forget those gruesome details.
Do you remember why you asked me to marry you?
Sure, you were strangling me to death.
Well, we're almost home, Newton.
Yeah.
I hope Pater will like you.
Well, so do I. The one I'm worried about is your father.
When talking to Father, Newton, never argue with him. He's got a very bad temper.
Oh, I never argue.
Oh, yes, you do.
Oh, no, I don't.
Oh, yes, you do.
Oh, no, I don't. Oh, I never win anyhow if I do argue.
Oh, I'm so worried about Mother. I do hope she'll like you.
Well, she ought to. I don't have any vices. I got a saw and a chisel, but no bicycle. I don't drink, I don't gamble, and I don't stay out at night.
Well, what do you do?
I'm ashamed to tell you.
Oh, come on, tell me.
Are you sure you'll keep it a secret until you die and 6 months thereafter?
I won't tell a soul. What do you do?
I choose sins. Now you know what gives me that devil-may-care attitude.
Well, we're coming to where I live.
Oh, pretty big house you got here, isn't it? Boy.
Ah, Miss Gwendolyn, it's good to have you home again.
Thank you, Jitters. Newton, this is our butler, and this is my husband, J. Newton Numbskull.
He's a happy little blimp, ain't he?
Yes, we've all seen the papers. Your mother is waiting for you in the study.
Would you take care of the luggage?
What is it?
Here it is. It's a box of Kleenex and a gunny sack.
Walk this way, sir.
I would have had a pair of shoes like you're wearing.
Well, I suppose the Army was a great experience.
Yeah, I'll have plenty to tell my children.
What are you going to tell them?
Join the Navy. Well, you know, this is the biggest house I ever saw. It makes Texas look like a motel, don't it?
Boy, this isn't so big.
Oh, no. How come the sun's shining in the living room and it's midnight out in the kitchen, huh?
Well, here's your mother's study.
Thank you, Jitters.
Gwendolyn, my dear, is it true? Is it true? Our name is ruined.
You listen to a lot of them daytime serial programs, don't you?
Mother, this is my husband, J. Newton Numbskull.
He looks it.
Yeah. You're proud of that, ain't you?
Numbskull. Are you any relation to the Numbskulls of the Gold Coast?
Yes, my father was a beachcomber there.
Are you a college man?
No, this is a suit I picked up when I got out of the Army. I'm a CPA, if that'll help.
Oh, you mean certified public accountant?
Oh, certified plumber's assistant. I'm pretty brilliant, though. In the Army, I did go to private candidate school.
Please, Newton, try to win her over,
Are you really Gwendolyn's mother? Gee, you don't look a day over 30.
Really?
Yeah, you look 20 years over that.
Sit down, Newton.
Yeah.
Young man, are you one of the 400?
One of the four? Gwendolyn, you didn't tell me you'd been married before.
No. I mean, are you part of the upper crust?
Oh, no, not exactly. I would say I was more of a soggy middle.
Nice, dear. I'm afraid we'll have to have this whole thing announced.
Ah, shut up. Now you listen to me, sister. You're like a lot of people I know. Now that the fireworks is over, everyone was equal while it lasted. It seems to me that if two people fall in love, that's their business, regardless of their position in life. You and others like you'd better wake up to the fact that we're all just people, and we got to get along. As long as little decent kids want to be happy, and it's a small reward in return for what they've done.
But I'm sorry. I didn't think.
It's all right.
Oh, you'll love Newton,
Keep
Mother.
your mouth shut from now on.
Love Newton, Mother, really, once you get to know him. Now, you two kiss and make up.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, go ahead and kiss
Oh,
her.
it's too soon after lunch. Oh, okay, I'll kiss her.
My! Where did you learn to kiss like that?
Inhaling that last drop of coffee from sea ration can.
Remember, medical science offers you proof positive. Remember, Medical science offers you proof positive.
No other leading cigarette is safer to smoke because no other gives you less nicotine, less throat-irritating tars than the new, smoother, better-tasting Raleigh.
Bill Stern, famous sportscaster, says, quote,
I've seen the inside figures on the leading brands, and it's true. Medical science has proved no other cigarette gives you less nicotine, less throat-irritating tars. Thus, no other is safer to smoke. I'm sure Raleighs are right, and sure, I'd rather have a Raleigh.
You're right, Bill Stern. Raleighs are right. So, friends, next time, try Raleighs. Enjoy Raleigh's rich tobaccos, that smoother, milder, more satisfying Raleigh flavor. Remember, medical science now offers you proof positive.
No other cigarette is safer to smoke because no other gives you less nicotine, less throat-irritating tars than the new, smoother, better-tasting Raleigh.
And now David Forrester and his orchestra plays one of George Gershwin's greatest hits, Embraceable You. Thank you very much, David. Chapter 83 of Meeting People is entitled Politeness Pays Dividends. When you're having a rich relative to come to pay a visit, you can always count on a little child in the family to fix things up for you.
I going to be in trouble.
What are you doing?
I am fixing me little pin here, playpen. See,
But I just had it fixed so you couldn't get out.
Yeah, I was fixing it so I can get out, though.
You look at you.
Yeah.
You're so dirty you look like a little pig.
Well, that's what you get for keeping me in a pin all day, you know.
What are you doing in that mud puddle?
Well, I was out there sailing me with a wooden boat, and I was playing Indefensible, see.
Well, how did you get so wet?
Man overboard.
Did you deliberately come here?
No.
When you're old, you'll find out that you're truth and never got a spanking.
Well, me history book is going to read a little differently, ain't it?
Are you going to be like George Washington and tell me the truth?
Yes, ma'am. I cannot tell a lie. I deliberately jump in the mud puddle.
That's Duffy.
That proves history never repeats itself. You hit me. I wasn't doing nothing. I tried to tell the truth. I told you I was acting like a pig. I jumping down. I'll shoot you.
I spanked you before I realized.
No, you did not. You're kicking my lawyer.
Oh, I should be ashamed.
Yes, you should be ashamed.
After all, I'm lucky I'm not.
Yeah, you lucky you got me.
Bless his little heart.
Yeah, bless his little heart.
Now, stop.
I won't. I could have tried the rest of it.
I'm sorry, Junior. But what am I going to do with you?
You seem to be doing all right without any suggestions for me today.
Junior, stop this nonsense and get in the house.
I do that dramatic stuff good, don't I?
I want you to get cleaned up.
Oh?
I just got a telegram, and who do you think is coming to visit us?
The cops. He's going up the river again. Let me out of here. They'll never get me alive.
Now, you stop that. Policemen don't send telegrams.
Then who's coming, kiddo?
Your Uncle Jim is coming.
Oh.
He hasn't seen you since you were 3 weeks old.
Oh.
He's anxious to see you now.
Do you think he's strong enough to stand the shock?
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
You know, Junior, he was here when you were born.
Really?
In fact, he took the gun away from your father.
Oh. You does love me, you does. Hey, Grandma, what does Uncle Jim looks like, huh?
He's the one with the beard.
Oh.
His picture's hanging in the back bedroom.
You mean that picture that covers up the big rat hole?
That reminds me. I'd better move it into the living room.
He must have money, huh?
Junior, we all love Uncle Jim.
Speak for yourself, kiddo. I ain't seen his will yet,
Junior,
Yes?
when your Uncle Jim arrives, don't make fun of his beard.
Oh.
I want you to admire it.
Yes, yes.
He's very proud of it.
I'll do more than that. Where's the scissors? I'll fix them.
No, you wouldn't touch his beard. You're kidding me.
You just keep laughing, kiddo. That's all. You've heard of Jack the Jabber? I'm Junior the Clipper.
You clip his beard and I'll clip you.
No.
Now run along and get washed.
Okay, I will run it down. Me uncle is coming. He's coming and he is going to wait. He has stayed home.
And don't slam...
Don't slam what?
Don't slam the door.
That's what I thought. I'm going to wash my face. Now, first I'll pour some water in me little handkerchief. Oh, I think I could stand another drop or two here.
Junior?
Yes?
What are you doing now?
Would you be mad if I told you I was wiping my face on the curtain?
I'd be so mad I'd whip you.
Well, I'm not going to tell you. I'll let you find it out for yourself. Oh, I will go to my other door. We have got company. We have got company. Welcome to Life Can Be Horrible.
You must be Junior.
Yeah, you must be disappointed. Boy, look at that beard. Look at that
Is that
beard.
your Uncle Jim, Junior?
Either him or some guy delivering a mattress. I don't know where.
No, Jim.
Hello, Vernon.
Good to see you. My, you're looking well.
You just say that because he got money and he might die any day. That's...
Jim. How are you, Jim?
Oh, I'm worn out.
Yeah, you must be worn out. Some of the stuffing's coming through your chin there.
I'm so tired after that long trip, I'd like to get off my feet.
Well, here, sit down here. Here.
Thank you, Junior.
Sit down there. Well, wait till I get the chair. What a stupid uncle he is.
Oh, I'm having trouble with Junior. He's getting so he won't mind at all.
Oh, it's nothing. I was the same way as a kid. Now look at me.
Well, I don't have much to look forward to, that It's going to be good from now on, boy.
Verna, you just don't handle him right.
No?
Do like I do with my kid. Let him do what he wants to do.
Where has you been all me life? Hey, what you got wrapped up there, Uncle Jim?
Oh, yes, look, Junior, I brought you this BB gun.
You mean me very own? I can do anything I want to?
Of course.
Now, he ought to know better than I.
Junior, you wouldn't shoot that gun in the house, would you? You wouldn't shoot that gun in the house.
You gotta be quicker with them questions, kiddo.
Your sister let him do anything he wants to.
Oh, just ignore him. He'll get over wanting to be destructive.
Yeah, but none of us going to let this heater talk.
I think I'll lie down on the divan and take a nap. I'm all tired out from that trip.
I'll take Junior into the other room.
No, I will stay here and watch Uncle Jim's beard so nothing will happen to it while he's asleep.
Well, Junior, what could happen to my beard while I'm asleep?
I haven't decided yet.
Behave yourself now, Junior. I'm putting you on your honor.
Yeah, you're putting me on a spot. That's what you're doing.
Now, you let Uncle Jim get some rest.
Oh, sure. You go ahead and lay down. I go outside.
All right. It's peaceful here.
Anybody thinks I went out of this room is a stranger in town. You can't see me, but I is under the divan, see? That's one of the miracles of radio. Boy, look at that beard. That sure is jumping in it. Boy, I could make some quick money clipping that beard off and then selling it to birds to make nests with, you know. Up to me dirty work. Boy, what a fine hunk of beard that is. Old hair-faced Jim will soon be known as Naked-Faced Willie. Imagine him hoarding all that stuff with rugs so hard to get. Uh-oh. I see them. There's the scissors. This might shorten me life a little, you know. And then again, why am I wasting my time thinking about it? I'm going to do this anyhow. Oh, boy, look at that. I better be careful. I might slice a rabbit out of here or something. Oh, boy, I never let chop. He still kind of knickered now, don't he? Chop here. Oh, cut his ear. Cut the other one, match it up. Here, Uncle Jim, wake up, will you? Look at your beard, look.
Oh, it looks nice on you, Junior. My beard, it was a 5 years growth.
And I trimmed it to a 5 o'clock shadow, didn't I?
What's going on in here?
You mean what's coming off in here, don't you?
Junior, you didn't cut his beard off.
That ain't Margaret O'Brien laying there, kiddo.
Now you're going to get him.
No, Verna, don't punish him, no.
But you realize he's cut off your beard?
Yes, but after looking at myself, I think I'm better off without it. I look and feel years younger.
You double-crossed me. I usually have nice memories about a thing like this. Why, I keep on like this, things not happen the way I want to, I'll be like Barbara Stanwyck running around yelling, my reputation.
We'll all be with you on every Tuesday night at the same time. Red Skelton, Davis Forrester and his orchestra, Anita Ellis, Verna Felton, Gigi Pearson, Pat McGeehan, and yours truly, Rod O'Connor. Until next Tuesday, then.
This is Red Skelton saying you wouldn't deliberately hurt anybody, would you? Drive careful. Goodbye now, and thanks for listening.
And remember, listen to Hildegard tomorrow night, and the people are funny without Linkletter Friday night over most of these stations. Red Skelton is heard in this program through the courtesy of Metro Goldwyn Mayer.
Sir Walter Raleigh. That's the tobacco that leaves your pipe as clean as a whistle. Sir Walter Raleigh is carefully blended from the finest burleys grown, rich, ripe tobaccos. And then it's mellowed with just a touch of rum to enhance the natural, full-bodied flavor. And Sir Walter Raleigh burns just right, slow, even, and cool, right down to the bottom of the bowl. Never leaves your pipe with a soggy heel, just a clean, dry ash. And you'll get compliments on Sir Walter Raleigh's pleasing aroma wherever you go. Next time, gentlemen, get Sir Walter Raleigh, the quality pipe tobacco of America.
Red Skelton is brought to you by the Brown and Williamson Tobacco Corporation. This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
Well, sir, it's late afternoon as we approach the small house halfway up in the next block now, and here on the front porch we find Mr. and Mrs. Victor Gook. Sade is swinging gently in the swing, and Vic, who has just this moment arrived home from the office, prepares to seat himself beside her. Listen.
Willie out and back?
Yeah.
What doing?
Sitting on the steps.
He's mad.
So I gathered. I was at pains to wish him a jolly good afternoon and received only a sullen rejoinder.
He's mad at his mother.
Why?
Oh, she went downtown and bought him clothes for school.
Seems to me he'd be overjoyed.
He wants to pick out his own clothes.
A feeling common to youth. As a boy, I used to want to pick out my own clothes.
Did you pick them out?
No. Hand over this sheaf of letters, telegrams, and cables that arrived during my absence.
Mailman never even stopped. Walked right on past.
Next time I see him, I'll thrash him within an inch of his life.
Certainly left a big batch of stuff at Scott's. Must have been a dozen pieces of mail he left. They correspond around till who laid the chunk. I expect the thing of it is she's got 5 sisters, and writing letters back and forth with that many.
Mary Sunshine.
Mad as a wet hen. His mother wouldn't let him buy his own clothes. You know what he'd do, don't you? He'd pick out the loudest, crashiest junk in town.
Hello there, Tom Clamp, old mashy shot.
I wouldn't rile him up any more than he is.
What's he got to be riled about? Seems to me we tolerate considerable temperament around this place.
Come on up and sit in the shade, Willie.
Join me and my lady friend here. We're going to rob a bank and make our getaway and escape over the state line to Missouri. We want you to lead the police off on a false scent.
Miss Harris just come along the alley, Mom. She said to tell you she wouldn't be at Thimble meeting.
Oh, really? Say why? Oh, really?
I'll call you up after supper and explain.
Well, thanks for delivering the message. Where are you going?
Round and back.
Going.
Round and back.
Going.
Round and back. Rather go round and back.
Do join us, footback. I can't bear to think of you in the backyard grieving yourself to death. Come on up and sit down. Your mother and I are cracking jokes and singing songs.
I wouldn't have come around in front at all if Miss Harris hadn't come along with that message.
Don't be mad at me anymore, Sonny.
Yeah, you two fellas shake hands there. You two fellas shake hands there. You two fellas... Benjamin Franklin spoke those immortal words while peeling a banana on the outskirts of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He was barefooted at the time, and although he was wearing a catcher's mitt, he aroused suspicion by his...
Sit down.
Not enough room.
I'll squeeze over.
I'll sit on the railing.
They tell me you're peeved, Arthur. They tell me angry fires seethe in your breast and hot tears flow out of the
leave them be.
Okay. Anybody got a hunk of eating tobacco in their pocket? I haven't had a chew all day.
Mom, as long as this business about my coat clothes is all cut and dried, suppose we might as well get to the bottom of it.
Bottom of it?
What am I supposed to do tomorrow? Go down to Hamilton's and Kleberger's?
And Empson's.
Empson's?
Yes.
You never bought shoes for me.
I bought a good, substantial pair of shoes.
You actually walked calmly into a shoe store and bought shoes for a great big 14-year-old high school guy?
Oh, lands rash. Let's not go through the same rigmarole we went through when I got home this afternoon.
Nobody was with you.
I told you Ruthie was along. You knew Ruthie was along. You heard me telephone this morning.
You paraded my shame before Ruthie. Ruthie knows you...
Miss Dembottom, please, mister.
What?
Miss Dembottom, not Ruthie. I'll call her Ruthie. You call her Miss Dembottom.
She saw you actually walk calmly in a shoe store and buy shoes for a 14-year-old high school student? With her own naked eyes, she witnessed...
I'm getting a little tired of this monkey business, Willie. And quit screwing your face around into them wild expressions. You're not the dying fawn in the movie picture show. You think your mother buying your clothes for you makes you out a little child. Well, if it looks that way, I'm sorry. But it's the sensible thing to do, and besides, it's already done. Now sit up and quit acting like a horse that fell on you.
How'd you go about this, Sade? Seems to me you'd have to have had soup ladle along in order to get the correct sizes.
He'll get the correct sizes when he shows up at the different stores tomorrow.
Oh, you picked out a suit and then had the clerk lay it aside?
And told him my little boy had come in to be fitted.
Oh, I see.
Same way with shoes. I selected what I wanted, and when Willie drops by, they'll give him his size in that particular style.
Pretty smart dodge.
Yeah. Ruthie give me flattering compliments on my smartness. I was smart about the cap I bought, too. In there at Kleberger's, I told him.
You bought me a cap?
What?
You bought me a cap?
Yeah.
I wanted a hat.
Cap is best for school. Hat gets crushed and ruined 5 seconds after you put it on your head.
Oh.
Yeah, cap is best for school.
Oh.
Don't bother making outlandish noises, son. Instead of raising a fuss like you're doing, you ought to be happy as a lark your parents can afford to buy you lovely new school outfits.
That's right, Moose Jaw. You're not bad off.
I'm almost a grown-up adult, and my mother picks out my clothes for me. I got a new suit, and I don't even know what it looks like. Got a new
I'll
cap.
tell you what it looks like. Blue serge. Very neat and trim. The pants has got them zipper do-funnies, and there's a real sporty belt on the coat you like.
Well, will look like a...
The shoes are brown. Reddish brown, I guess you'd call it. They're serviceable and strong and can stand the gap. Nothing flashy about them, of course.
I expect the cap is a good substantial...
The cap is a good common-sense plaid. It didn't cost much, but if you take halfway decent care of it, it'll hold its shape and stay presentable a good long time.
Did Ruthie titter and snort when you told the clerks your little boy
What did I
was...
say about that Ruthie business?
Did she titter and snort?
Maybe when you're 21 you can say Ruthie. Think for a while yet, though, you'd better say Miss Denbottom.
Did she titter and snort?
I don't think I like them words very well.
Did she laugh at the idea of a lady picking out clothes for a fella as big and as old as I am?
No.
It's a wonder. By George, I don't see how a common, ordinary American citizen can hold on to their self-respect when their mother treats them like a half-witted half-wit that ain't got this...
I think we've had enough of this.
By George, when civilization has sunk so
Listen,
low...
and I'll tell you what you're supposed to do tomorrow. And we'll drop the subject. In at Hamilton's, you're supposed to ask for Mr. Richards. He's the clerk waited on me this afternoon. He'll get out the suit I bought and then find one on the rack exactly like it's your size.
What if I see a suit I like better? What if I see a suit I...
All right, that takes care of Hamilton's. At Kleberger's, ask for Mr. White. He's the young fellow with the nose glasses. Just say you're...
I'm Rush Cook, and my mother picked out a cap for me.
Yes. And when you try 'em on, be sure and get one big enough. Last cap you bought left a dent around your head when you took it off. A person could hide their pocketbook in.
Maybe I ought to ask...
Kleberger's, Mr. White. Hamilton's, Mr. Richards. Don't forget. In Empson's shoe store, inquire for Mr. Spence. Bald-headed fella. Bet he's got an artificial leg, too. Scrounged down awful peculiar and stuck it out straight behind him when he sat down on the little stool.
For an individual my age...
You got them names straight? I asked you a question. I said, have you got them names straight?
Biggard's, Knight, and Fence.
Richards, White, and Spence. Remember 'em now. Otherwise you'll get in a muddle.
No joking, kiddo. That's a pretty smart stunt. Pick out exactly what you want and then send Oyster Cracker down to get the right size. You've got ingenuity.
Where are you going?
Out and back.
What you gonna do?
Nothing.
Sit on the steps and sulk and feel sorry for yourself?
I wish to be alone.
You gotta trot to the store for groceries after Beth. So don't go running off any place.
Man with a breaking heart.
Uh-huh.
I suppose his spirit is just as agonized over this as that of a great businessman beset by difficulties.
I suppose.
The intensity of the suffering from a person's troubles is the same whether the person is young or old. The infant who's denied the rattle he desires is no more or no less distressed than the desperate banker who finds shortages in his accounts. And the 14-year-old boy who isn't permitted to select his own clothes endures the same misery as...
Mr. Carl home from work.
Huh?
Mr. Carl walking along the sidewalk. Must be time to start supper. Come in the house with me. You can help. Grind the meat and crack the English walnuts.
Okay.
Which concludes another brief interlude at the small house halfway up in the next block.
The
Special Service Division invites you soldiers, sailors, and Marines of the United Nations to drop in at Duffy's Tavern.
Hello, Duffy's, where you eat meat to eat. Archie, the manager, speaking. Duffy ain't here. Hello, Duffy. Tonight, Lucille Ball from Hollywood. The tomato with the carrot hair. Yeah, very nourishing. Oh, you'd like a dish like that, huh? But you also like blondes and brunettes, too. Where do you draw the line? Oh, you don't like bald-headed dames. Yeah, well, Duffy, I can't talk now. I got to get ready for good old Lucille. Oh, sure. Her and I used to be nips in the bud together. Yeah, certainly. She's from Brooklyn, huh? No, when she was a kid, her parents migrained out of there. Yeah, to escape persecution. Her father was a Yankee fan. Yeah, Duffy, this is going to be old home week. Okay, I'll call you back. Goodbye.
Hey, I'm Mr. Archer.
Yeah, Eddie.
That movie actress, Miss Ball, just called.
Oh, yeah, huh? Good old Lucille, my dear friend and childish sweetheart.
Yeah. Your dear friend and childish sweetheart just called and wants to know who's Archie.
She was kidding, Eddie. Why, she and me was tomboys together. Gee, she was a pretty girl.
Yeah, she was a pretty girl. She was madly in love with you, and she would die for you, and she wanted to marry you.
You're psychopathic, Eddie. How did you know?
That's easy. I just thought of the truth and stayed as far away from it as I could.
Listen, Eddie, yesterday that might have been funny, but yesterday I was a nobody. Today, who knows? Maybe I will be. An old friend of mine is going to have me listed in that book of famous men. Who's that?
You don't mean whom's who?
Hey, whom's who? You mean who's whom? When you split an infinitive, you must first modify the participle. No, Eddie, this is a similar anthropology. It's called Who's That? Read this letter, Eddie.
Dear...
read the name of the publisher.
Human and Shyster. Dear boyhood friend Archie. How are you, Arch, old pal? I am doing very well, as you can see by feeling this very extensive stationery. I just remembered that you are an old friend, and consequently I am in a position to have your name listed in our book, Who's That? Since you are an old friend, this will cost you nothing. Always glad to help an old friend. Signed, your old friend, J. Wentworth Ashley, formerly Joe Clinker.
Yep, good old Stinker Clinker. Haven't seen him in years. That was his nickname, Stinker.
Why did you call him that?
And besides, none of us could stand him. So, you see, Eddie, with me name coming out and Who's That, Lucille Ball is in no position to snub her toes at me. I'm a somebody, too.
Good evening, Arch.
Good evening, Finnegan.
How do I look tonight? Pretty?
No uglier than usual. Why?
Well, don't you notice, Arch? I shaved off my mustache.
Finnegan, you never had no mustache.
No? I wonder who I shaved this morning.
Let me look at the back of your head. I thought so. I think you better shave it back on again, Finnegan. Look, why are you so worried about your looks tonight, outside of what's obvious?
Lucille Ball's coming down here, ain't she?
So what?
Arch, I got naughty thoughts.
What do you mean?
I figured maybe if I play my cards right, she'll give me a free pass to the movies.
Finnegan, that's a very naughty thought.
Yeah, I know, Arch. Sometimes I don't know what comes over me. Hey, Arch, this Lucille Ball, the red hair of hers, is that real?
Well, certainly it's real. Been that way for more than a year. natural hair. It's probably hereditary.
I don't believe in heredity.
Why not?
Well, look at my mother, red hair. Look at my father, red hair. Look at me, no hair.
Yeah, and interesting for my mama.
Mr. Archie, a gentleman is here to see you.
Well, if it isn't my old pal, my old friend Archie.
Wait a minute. You're not...
Yep, J. Wentworth Ashley.
Stinker Clinker. Excuse me, I mean Stinker Ashley.
Oh, no, you can't say that anymore, Arch. It doesn't rhyme with Ashley like it did with Clinker.
Never knew it did rhyme. Well, how are you doing?
Oh, never mind about me. How are you doing, Arch?
Well, I can't say that I'm as rich as Croesus, but I've saved up a pretty penny or two.
Good. I'm glad I'm not wasting my time. I'm glad you're not wasting your life. Well, Arch, always glad to see an old friend. Now, let's get down to business.
Here comes the gold brick.
Archie, Schumann and Shyster have sent me here to say that they would be honored to list you, the author of Duffy's first reader, in the 1944 edition of Who's That?
You mean I'm going to be immortalized? Gee, that's an honor, huh?
An honor? Well, just look at some of the names you would be listed with. John Charles Roberts, H.B. Castellanos, Cecil B. DeGaulle, and Mendel Wilkie.
Boy, what names? And my name will be there, too, huh?
Mr. Ashley.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, Archie. And let's go over to the table and fill out this questionnaire.
Now, Eddie, don't let nobody bother me. I got to fill out this questionnaire for Schumann and Shyster. Let's see here now. Name, Archie. Address, 113 and a quarter, East 13th Street.
You better put down your zone number.
Zone? Oh, yeah. Upstairs in the back. Boy, Eddie, getting in this book is some honor, huh?
Miss Archie, do you send in an application to get on these sucker lists, or do they just pick your name at random?
What do you mean? The guy didn't ask me for no dough, did he?
If the day is still young.
Eddie, please, don't be so skeptical.
Archie, have you got another actress coming down here tonight?
Yeah, Miss Duffy, Lucille Ball. And what's wrong with actresses?
Nothing. But why do they always have to be girls?
They got a strict rule in Hollywood that all actresses have to be girls. Listen, why was you so late tonight? Where was you?
Down at the 10 Jolly Girls AC and Athletic Club canteen.
Them 10 ugly dames got a canteen now? Well, what do you do for the guys?
Well, first we give the soldier a cup of coffee, and then we ask if he has a sweetheart back home.
And if he has a sweetheart?
We just keep asking till we find one that hasn't.
Well, suppose you don't find one that hasn't.
Then we close for the night. But usually we find at least one.
What a man trap.
Don't worry, Archie. We have very strict rules. No jolly girl is allowed to kiss a fella unless he's been overseas. Gee, you should have seen the handsome soldier Vera Fogarty kiss tonight.
Mm-hmm. Whereabouts overseas had he been?
Oklahoma.
That ain't overseas.
You gotta cross the Mississippi to get there, and the ocean flows into the Mississippi, doesn't it?
No, the Mississippi flows into the ocean.
Too late. Vera's already kissed him.
I'm surprised you don't just put a pan of salt water in a joint and hop across it. The ocean flows into the Mississippi.
Mr. Duffy, could I come down to your canteen some night?
Oh, of course, Mr. Johnston. You can come down and sing for us.
Oh, I'd be glad to. What time do the doors close?
Well, the doors are locked at 12 o'clock.
Yeah, the doors are locked at 12 o'clock, but you're a strong-looking guy, Johnny. You can fight your way out. Listen, pay no attention to it. Go ahead and sing something. Sing that paper doll, huh?
I'm gonna buy a paper doll that I can call my own. A doll that other fellas couldn't steal.
And then the flirty, flirty guys with their flirty, flirty eyes will have to flirt with dollies that are real. When I come home at night, she will be waiting. She'll be the truest doll in all the world. I'd rather have a paper doll to call my own than have a fickle-minded, real-life girl. I'm gonna buy a paper doll that I can call my own, a doll that other fellows wouldn't steal. And then the flirty, flirty guys with the flirty, flirty eyes will have to flirt with dollies that are real. When I come home at night, she will be waiting. She'll be the truest dolly in the world. I'd rather have a doll that I can call my own than have a fickle-minded, real-life girl.
Listen now, Eddie, I got to finish this questionnaire. Now, leave a seat here. Education. What'll I put there?
Oh, tell him the truth. Leave it blank.
Cut it out, Eddie. Let's see now. Education. For 3 years, I attended at the varsity at UCLA at Ann Arbor, Michigan.
UCLA? That ain't in Michigan.
Oh, huh? Okay, I'll change it to University of Montana. I know that's in Michigan. Let's see. University of M-O-N. Funny, Eddie, I went there and I can't spell it. Well, make it UCLA.
That you can spell.
Yeah, good. I matriculated from UCLA, where I graduated non-campus Memphis. I got it down. What does it mean, Eddie?
That means with high honors.
Oh, naturally. Sure. PhD. Now, let's see. Postgraduate work.
What does that mean?
That means PG, you know. Correspondence course.
Wait. Put in that one you took on muscle building.
I can't. Never got no diploma.
Never got no muscles, neither.
Hey, wait a minute, Eddie. Here comes Lucille Ball. Now, you better beat it.
Why?
Well, she probably wanted to be alone with me. You know, this is a sentimental moment. Well, Lucille Ball. Well, Lucille, you haven't changed a bit. It certainly touches me heart to see you again.
Who are you? It sure is a sentimental moment.
Who am I? Lucille, think of some of the nicknames of guys you used to know when you was a kid.
Well, let's see. There was one that we called Shorty the Jerk. That wasn't you.
No. I was a tall guy.
And then there was another one we called Handsome. No.
Come on, think.
Wait, you're not Sammy the Sissy.
Perish forbid. Look, Lucille, maybe I can refreshen up your memory. Remember how the gang used to get under the fire hydrant? Remember? Get under the fire hydrant, whole gang on a hot day, and you was such a snob. You always insisted on wearing the bathing suit.
Fire hydrant?
Yeah. Look, you remember Lefty's Metropolitan Museum of Pool? Where all the bums used to hang out?
Oh, now I remember you.
Seriously?
Oh, yeah.
Archie, yeah. If I had told you my nickname, you would have remembered me in a second.
What was it?
I don't want to say it.
Go ahead. What was it?
I don't know.
What was it?
The sheep.
Perish forbid.
So you're Archie, huh?
Yeah, and this is Miss Duffy. You remember her, the little homely kid that everybody said she'd grow out of it, and she didn't?
Oh, yes, I remember. The one who used to chase all the little boys, trip them, sit on them, and kiss them.
Likewise, I'm sure.
How are you, Miss Duffy? You look very, very lovely.
Very well. No wonder the dame didn't recognize me. She's blind.
Miss Ball, it's surprising. You've been in Hollywood for years, and yet you still got a Brooklyn accent in your verse.
You're a nerd. If you'll pardon my choice of words.
Oh, think nothing to it. So, there you are, a Hollywood star.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Well, it's all a matter of what a girl wants. Hollywood and its movie stars.
Well, Brooklyn, its Navy Yard.
You remember? But what I mean is, movies is all right if one wants to make a silly career of kissing a different fella every day. One day, Clark Gable kissing you, and then the next day, Tyrone Power, and then the next day, Robert Taylor. Anyway, where could Papa get another cashier?
Look, Miss Duffy, please. Papa desires the monthly inventory. Go count the pickled pig's feet, please. Well, Lucille, oh, by the way, you don't mind me calling you Lucille.
Not at all, Chief.
Well, Miss Ball. You haven't mentioned how you like the place here.
Oh, yes, I have. Under my breath.
Well, let's hear it. We like ladies' comments.
This isn't a lady's comment.
Well, anyways, it's lovely to see you again. You don't know what it's been like, you know? You in Hollywood, me in New York, over 300 miles apart.
As the crow flies.
How else would I go? Yeah, I was afraid with all that horrible expanse betwixt us that our twains would never meet.
How tragic.
Yeah, it was. No, what was I saying again?
You were saying something about you being a nobody.
Was I?
Well, I assumed it.
Well, that's where you were wrong. I am no longer a nobody since I wrote this book that's Duffy's first reader. You remember, I always had a talent for writing.
Yes, I remember those fences in Brooklyn.
Not only fences. I used to write on... Well, mostly it was fences. Anyways, suddenly I write this book, and lo and behold. Overnight, I wake up, and who's that?
What's that?
Who's that?
Who's on first?
Lucille. Who's that is sort of a who's who of what's what in the world.
Well, now that makes it really hard.
Makes it really hard? What do you mean?
Well, now, if you and I take up where we left off, Archie, all the columnists will say, what's their name fell for who's it because he's in who's that.
Yeah. Silly girl. Don't worry about it. What do you care what idle gossip mongers? And don't forget the old pervert. Any publicity is good publicity as long as they don't mention your name. Lucille, you look lovely standing there with that red hair of yours lighted up by the soft glow from the pinball machine. You know something about that hair of yours?
What about it?
Well, I believe in traffic rules, but that red don't make me want to stop.
I believe in traffic rules, too, but that complexion of yours.
What about it?
That green makes me want to go.
Great sense of humor. Lucille, you know, I'm filling out a questionnaire here, and there's a question that says type of woman preferred. What do you think I'm going to put down?
Female.
Well, yeah, but with a little coaxing, I could change it from female to red-headed female. And where it says name, I could easily change it from Archie to Archibald.
Are you sure you're not Shorty the Jerk?
Cut the kid. This is wonderful, Lucille. You and me working on this questionnaire together, you know. Sort of intimate, like sending out our laundry in the same bag. Hey, that's an idea, sending out our laundry together. You think there's any chance, Lucille?
Not as much chance as there is of getting it back.
Am I to take it that you spurned to be known as the future Mrs. Archie?
Crazy, ain't I?
Well, Archie, have you finished the questionnaire yet?
Oh, yeah. By the way, Miss Ball, this is Mr. Ashley. Mr. Ashley, Miss Ball, Mr. Ashley. May I present?
How do you do? I understand this is a sort of a reunion.
Biggest laugh we got tonight. This is old home week. You know, Stinker here is from the old neighborhood.
Oh, please, Archie. Miss Ball, Stinker is just a boyhood nickname. You know, children sometimes have cruel tongues.
But good noses.
Thank you, I think.
You can talk plainer than that.
Now, Archie, I'd like your opinion of one more thing. What kind of leather do you think the book should be bound in?
Bound.
Well, all books are bound.
Oh, I must remember that. That's a good thing for a writer to know. What kind of boundings have you got?
Well, Morocco, pigskin, pinseal, calfskin, suede.
Well, suede is nice, but hate to think of them killing all them little suedes just to cover it.
Well, Archie, I'll be running along now. Oh, Miss Ball, before I leave, could I have your autograph? And, Archie, I would like to have you sign here, too. Huh?
Okay.
Thank you both. And, Archie, old friend, next time I come to see you, I hope I'll be bringing you news that you've been awarded the Nobel Prize.
Well, I'll be just satisfied with a Pulitzer Prize. Well, so long, Stinker.
So long, Arch, and here's your receipt.
Thanks. You know, Lucille, there's nothing like old friends. Hey, what do you mean by a receipt? Wait a minute, what is this thing?
Let me see.
I,
the undersigned,
agree to purchase 10 volumes of Who's That? How do you like that? What an Ashley that Stinker turned out to be.
Wait a minute. I signed one of those things, too.
How do you like that? An old friend from Brooklyn.
Yeah, and he sold us the bridge.
Now, before we leave Duffy's Tavern, Leva's put a couple of nickels in Duffy's jukebox. Duffy's jukebox, where the feet meet the beat. Well, the platter's spinning, the needle's in the groove, and here's the first number coming up.
street I used to walk in the shade with those blues on parade. Oh, but that's all over. I'm walking, baby, I'm walking in clover. If I never, ever sin, I'll be rich as Rockefeller with gold dust at my feet on the sunny side of the street I used to walk in the shade with those blues on parade. Oh, but that's all over. La da 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 da. If I don't ever sin, I'll be rich as Rockefeller. Life will be so complete on the sunny side of the street.
Duffy's Tavern was rebroadcast especially for you men and women in the armed forces of the United Nations by the Special Service Division of the War Department of the United States of America.
In the movie Wake Island, he was the Brooklyn Marine. In Abroad with Two Yanks, he's Biff, the private. But tonight, he's just an overgrown kid anxiously waiting for Halloween.
I'll never forget. When I was just a boy, every Halloween my father used to stick me in the front window. We were too poor to buy a pumpkin.
The American Meat Institute presents William Bendix in The Life of Riley. The meat people of America, providing a great food for a great nation. If you put all of America's meat retailers together in one city, it would make another city as big as Indianapolis. There are more than 400,000 meat retailers in this country. Another important link in the chain that gives you good, fresh meat every day, America. And now, on behalf of all those engaged in supplying meat to the nation, the American Meat Institute presents The Life of Riley with William Bendix as Riley. By day, Riley is engaged in the serious business of war production as a riveter in a California aircraft plant. But tonight we see his less serious side. It's 2 nights before Halloween, and Riley is full of the spirit of the thing. It's quite dark out, and Riley's son, Junior, is just returning from a meeting of the Young Wildcats, his club, in a very thoughtful mood.
Is that you, Pop?
Yeah, Junior.
What are you doing hiding on the back porch?
Listen, peek in the kitchen window and see what your mother's doing.
She's washing the supper dishes. Say, Pop, what are you doing with that false face on? You're Mickey Mouse, huh?
No, I'm not Mickey Mouse. I'm the Rat Man of Blood Bucket Castle.
Oh, at the dime store they sell those false faces for Mickey Mouse.
Never mind. I bet your mother will think I'm the Rat Man.
Oh, you gonna play a trick on Mom?
Yeah. You see, last night we saw a horror picture about a nice gruesome character, the Rat Man. He was a vampire. Has lunch on people's necks.
Oh, he ain't a rat. He's a bat.
Oh, well, he's very depressing. Anyway, afterwards, your mom was so scared something would pop out of a doorway at her, she walked all the way home in the middle of the street.
Mom said you made her walk out there.
No, I just invited her out in the street because it ain't polite to leave a lady walking on the sidewalk all alone. You watch now when I scratch at the door and she opens it up and sees me in this thing.
Okay, Pop, go ahead.
Okay, all I hope is she don't faint. Watch now.
Pop,
what?
Bats don't growl, they squeak.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Who's there?
We got her guessing.
Well, I never. It's Mickey Mouse. Junior, go get your father some cheese.
Ha ha! You sure fooled her, Pop.
Yeah. Well, they don't make these masks as good as they used to. Or else maybe I got a very strong personality and it leaks through, probably.
Well, isn't it a little early for Halloween tricks, Riley?
Well, it don't hurt to get a head start. Halloween's my favorite holiday. Look, Junior, there's something else I bought at the 5 and Dime. You see this book? Ghost Stories.
Well, thanks, Pop, but I don't want to read any ghost stories tonight.
What's the matter? You don't believe in ghosts, do you?
No, I don't believe in ghosts, but I don't want to read anything that might change my mind. Too many people think there's ghosts now.
Say, Dumpling, what's the matter with him?
Well, I don't know. Ever since he came home from school today, he's been asking me if I believe in haunted houses.
What a question. With the housing shortage, as sure as it is, who's going to leave a house empty for spooks?
Well, there's one empty house up on Chestnut Hill, Riley. You know, the old Sherwin place. Oh. Some people say that's haunted.
Yeah?
Mrs. Cornwell claims she saw a pale, white face at the window, too.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Oh, but Mrs. Cornwell's a great one for ghosts. She's always holding seances and things like that.
Yeah, that Cornwell kid's in Junior's club, too. I bet he's got our boy believing in ghosts. Well, I'm going to have a head-to-head talk with Junior. So you see, Junior, if I tell you there's no ghost, you can take my word for it. After all, I've been your father for 13 years, ain't I?
Oh, sure, Pop, but if there aren't any ghosts, what haunts haunted houses?
Listen, Junior, nothing haunts haunted houses.
Oh, yes, they do, Pop. Johnny Cornwell's mother proved the house was haunted.
How did she?
She said she saw a ghost face in the window at the old Sherwin house. It was a horrible face, too.
Doggone, Mrs. Cornwell must have seen her own reflection. Says a dame should walk into a room backwards and break her face to you slowly.
Oh, then, Pop, then she came home and held a seance. She asked if what she saw was the ghost of Alice Sherwin, and she got 3 raps on the table. Well, that means yes in ghost language.
Fine language. All they can do is knock. They ought to be newspaper columnists.
You better not make fun of ghosts, Pop.
Look, Junior, would you sooner believe a ghost than your old man?
No, Pop.
Well?
But if the ghost said it was a ghost, it ought to know.
Okay, I can see you're a septic. Now, we'll have a see. It's right here to prove what Mrs. Cornwell saw wasn't that Sherwin girl's ghost. Come on, put your hands up on this table. Huh?
Gosh, Papa, are you going to ask a ghost to rap?
I'll show you. I'll put my hands on there, too, see? Okay, now I'll ask something. Are there any ghosts? See? No answer. No ghosts.
Nah, Pop. You have to ask for raps. 2 means no. 3 raps means yes.
Oh, well, okay. 2 raps for no, 3 for yes. Now, I'll ask him again. Did Mrs. Cornwell see a ghost up at Sherwin's old haunted house?
Gosh, Pop, it said no.
You see, that proves it. Mrs. Cornwell's a phony.
Well, ask him again if there are any ghosts.
Okay. Are there any ghosts? Rap 2 for no. See that? The ghosts themselves say there aren't any ghosts. That proves it.
Wait a minute, Pop. How could a ghost rap 2 for no if there aren't any ghosts?
Well, that's very simple. I was just kidding, Sonny. I did that rapping myself. Honest.
Well, your hands were on the table.
Yeah, but my feet weren't. Look at. I just kicked up under that table with my foot like this.
Oh, Pop. I bet you wouldn't kid around like that in a genuine haunted house like the Sherwin place.
Well, sure I would, only I can't because I ain't going there.
Would you be scared to go if you were going?
Me? No.
Oh, that's good, Pop. No, I ain't scared to go neither.
How do you mean?
Well, down at my club tonight, we got to talking what we'd do Halloween. So we made it up we'd go find out if Sherwin's old house was haunted or if it wasn't.
Yeah. I pity any ghosts when them young wildcats get in that house.
Oh, we ain't all going inside, Pop. Just one of us got elected to go inside. The poor guy who got the short straw.
Who got it?
Well, I did.
I see. Well, Junior, you show him you know there aren't any ghosts in there. I'm proud of you, Junior, walking in there all alone. I think that's
I won't be all alone. I made up a rule the fellow who had to go in could take in another fella, his best friend.
Well, that's okay, too. If the guy you picked is a real friend, he'll go like a shot. What'd you pick?
I picked you, Pop.
Well, I bet that... me? Look, Junior, I'm probably going to be very busy and...
Pop, you ain't scared to go, are you?
Well, no, but...
And you're my best friend, aren't you?
Huh? Well, yeah, I guess I am. Actually, the saying is that your mother is your best friend.
Well, I couldn't ask Mom to go, and I'm sure glad you're coming with me.
Yeah, me too, Junior. Chapter 13. As Lord Twitcher stood there in the dark hall of the great lonely house, he could feel something evil in the very air. A cold wind brushed his cheek, and an icy hand seemed to touch his spine. Suddenly, he saw the thing, and then he heard a sound, a low, wailing sound. Who's that?
It's only me, dear. Did I startle you?
No. No, I was just reading this book here.
Oh, the ghost stories you bought Junior, huh?
Yeah. Such nonsense.
My, it's a quiet Halloween, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wonder what all those boys in Junior's club are doing tonight.
I know what they're doing. They're all sitting over across from our house right now on the fence, like a row of buzzards, waiting for us to come out.
Oh, are they going to the house with you?
Oh, they're going as far as the gate of the place to make sure we go in.
But you're not nervous about going, are you, dear? You don't believe in ghosts?
Well, no. You don't believe in them either, do you, Peg?
No. But there is something queer about that house.
Hmm?
I wonder what did become of that poor Alice Sherwin.
Well, if nobody knows, I don't want to find out. What did they say happened to her?
Oh, awfully sad story. She was a bride, you know, beautiful girl. Well, they were on their honeymoon in Manila. He was a captain in the Navy. She and her husband were going to come home and live in that old house. Then, well, he was lost in an air raid. Some say they were both killed together. Others say that she followed him because she didn't want to live without him. Well, anyhow, the house stands there empty, waiting for the bride and bridegroom that never came to live in it.
People ought to leave the place alone. And I'm one of the people.
Well, after you go there tonight, maybe people will stop talking and gossiping about the house, because you'll prove there's nothing there.
Yeah, maybe. And what was all that talk about seeing lights and faces around the place?
Oh, just talk, I suppose.
Yeah.
But they do say that they saw a woman's figure at the window in the attic.
Pop! Junior, what's the idea of sneaking in like that?
It's time to go, Pop.
Huh? Oh, well, yeah. Well, okay, Junior. Goodbye, Stumpling.
Goodbye, boys.
Sure dark out, isn't it, Pop?
Yeah.
Pop, that Sherwin house we're going to, it can't be really haunted, can it?
No.
But it's funny that people have seen a ghost in there.
Yeah, well, look, Junior, when we get in that house, you do just like I do, and you won't see no ghosts.
Oh, what are you going to do, Pop?
I'm going to keep my eyes shut.
Well, not even nervous Riley has any idea of what's in store for him as he and Junior head for the mysterious old Sherwin place. We'll rejoin them in just a moment. Right now, this is Ken Niles speaking for Meat. The other day in a meat market, Mrs. Niles overheard a woman say, "Joe, I hear all this talk about braising meat, but just what meat do you braise?" Well, Joe the meat man told her, of course, and out of that comes this excellent thought. Maybe some of you would like a little review of the braising cuts of beef. Well, in the first place, braising is an ideal way of preparing the lean point-free beef coming on the markets these days in order to bring out all its fine flavor and tenderness. And here are the favorite braising cuts: popular pot roast, juicy Swiss steak, tasty flank chops, easily cooked short ribs, country fried steaks, and... Oh, but why go on? My mouth is watering so much I can hardly talk now. But remember, braising is long cooking over low heat. And that's the way to good gravy, too. After all, whether you braise, roast, or broil meat, you are getting essential, highest quality proteins for which meat is nutritionally noted. Meat is a yardstick of protein foods because meat measures up to every protein need. And now back to the Life of Riley with William Bendix as Riley. It's just midnight, a very dark midnight. Even the moon is hiding on this Halloween. Riley and his son Junior are just approaching the rusty iron gate that guards the old Sherwin house, which is said to be haunted. Listen.
Here's the gate, Pop. Let's go in.
Maybe the gate's locked, so we can't get in. Gee, wouldn't that be too bad?
We've got to get in, Pop. The gang's followed us all the way from town, and they're still watching.
Yeah, they trail us like sharks after a sinking ship.
Let's go in, Pop.
Okay. What's that?
The gate. The hinges are all rusty.
Maybe we ought to go back to town and get some oil, huh?
Come on in the garden, Pop. Gosh, it's dark.
Yeah. Well, follow me, Junior.
Where are you?
Right behind you. Here. Give me your hand.
I see the house, Pop. The moon's coming out of a cloud.
Yeah. Junior.
Huh?
What's that over there?
Huh? I think that's your shadow, Pop.
If that's my shadow, why is it moving while I'm standing still?
Pop, it's coming this way.
And since when does a shadow make footsteps?
Good evening, Riley.
Oh, wait, Pop. It's your friend, Mr. Odell, the Undertaker.
Yeah. Oh, how are you, Digger? I never thought I'd be glad to see an Undertaker.
You're looking fine, Riley. Very natural. Tell me, what are you doing here around the old Sherwin house?
Nothing, Digger. We're just having some fun on Halloween.
Ah, Halloween. I adore Halloween. It's so gay.
Digger, do you hang around this old house much?
Oh, yes, indeed. It's one of my favorite haunts.
Haunts? Listen, you don't think there's anything in there, do you?
Who knows? Sometimes as I stroll through this old garden, I feel unseen eyes follow me.
You do, huh?
Riley, you're not going inside the house?
Well, we thought we might drop in a minute. I could be talked out of it.
Take my advice, Riley. Remain outside. Enjoy the beautiful flowers. They're my favorite flowers. Lilies.
Digger, when you talk about lilies, please don't stare at my chest.
Strange how some people have no interest in horticulture. In my profession, we have a saying, you may not like flowers at first, but eventually they grow on you. By the way, Riley, how tall are you?
Well, I'm about 5 feet. Why?
I'd like to borrow your overcoat Saturday to wear at the football game.
Oh, sure.
I'll pick it up at 1 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
I want to get to the game before they kick off. Farewell, Riley. Oh, bury me not on the Lord.
Here's the door to the house, Pop. It's open.
Well, leave it open. Why? Well, one thing, Junior, nobody will never be able to say your old man was a coward. Let's go in. Now let's go out.
Wait, Pop. We've only been in one room. We're supposed to go through the whole house.
As far as I'm concerned, this is a one-room house. Come on.
Oh, wait, Pop.
What for?
I told the kids you didn't believe in ghosts, and I said we'd have another seance like we did at home.
Junior, a blood relationship can only be stretched so far.
Oh, Pop, you said you'd do it in a haunted house, and if we didn't hear anything, it would prove there wasn't any around here.
I already proved there wasn't any around here.
Well, you didn't do it right.
Well,
I found out for a seance, the medium has to be tied in a chair so it can't pull no tricks.
Well, okay, Junior. I'd be glad to let you tie me up. Only there ain't no rope. Too bad.
I brought some rope, Pop.
That was swell of you, Junior. I'll remember this. Go ahead, tie me.
There. Can you move your hands or feet?
No, you tied me so tight Dan Green is sitting in. Now, stand over by the window where I can see you.
Here I am, Pop.
You'll see, Junior. There won't be any raps this time.
Hope you're right, Pop.
Of course I'm right. How can there be any raps when I'm tied up too tight for rap? And I also got my eye on you.
Go ahead, then. Ask if there's any ghosts here.
Okay, now. If there's any ghosts here, rap 2 times. If there ain't, don't bother. No raps.
Oh, now say, if there are any ghosts, to rap 3 times.
Well, okay, but there won't be any. If there are any ghosts, rap 3 times. Junior, did you do that?
I didn't. Didn't you?
Frankly, no. Junior, where you going?
Out the window. Come on.
Oh, come back. Untie me, Junior. I can't get this chair through that window. Junior!
Oh, Pop! Pop, I can't get the nuts loose. I better go get a knife.
Junior, don't forget to come back. I had to open my big mouth for raps, and I got raps. Fine thing, all alone in a house with a... what's that? Who's that?
What are you doing in my house?
I must be going crazy.
Why did you come here?
I wouldn't stay, lady, only I got tied up.
I will loosen the knot.
Yeah, well, thanks. Who are you?
I am Alice Sherwin.
Now I know I'm crazy. I'm talking to a ghost.
Pop, I'm coming.
Oh, Julie!
Please, don't tell anyone I'm here. I only want to be left alone. Here in my house.
I got a knife and... Pop, you're untied.
Yeah. And it was the ghost that done it. Wait a minute. Her hands. They weren't no ghost's hands. Junior, you go outside and wait for me.
What are you going to do, Pop?
I'm going to have another talk with that lady ghost.
Why did you want to see me, Mr. Riley?
Well, when I figured out you wasn't a ghost, I got to thinking how lonesome you must be in this house all alone. So I thought maybe you'd like to take a stroll over to my house and meet my family.
Oh, thank you, but
If you'd rather not talk, I'll go away.
No. Don't go yet. I mustn't be rude to my first guest in so long.
Oh, thanks. Must be kind of a shock when the first man you see in so long looks like I do.
Tell me about your family, Mr. Riley.
Well, my family's named Riley after me. Very nice people, too. That was my son, Junior, that was with me tonight.
It must be wonderful to have a son.
Oh, it's great. I got a daughter, too. A girl. She's 16 now. The boy's 13, but getting older all the time. Then there's Peg, that's my wife. She's older than the kids, but younger than me. Say, in that picture of you over the fireplace, I guess that fellow with you, that's your husband, huh?
Yes. That's Robert.
He's a good-looking fella. Maybe you'd rather not talk about him, though.
Silence won't bring him back.
My wife told me about what happened. Of course, she didn't know the part about your being here.
I don't want anyone to know. I want to stay here, alone, with his memory. It's the least I can do in loyalty to him.
Oh. You mean you think that's what he'd want you to do?
Of course. Does that surprise you?
Well, yes, ma'am, it does. I didn't know him, but from his picture there, I know he was a swell guy. I wouldn't think he'd want you locked up here, throwing the rest of your life away.
Do you think any man wants the wife he loved to forget him in a year or ever?
Well, no, but there's different ways of remembering.
I don't understand.
You can make his dying count for something by helping to beat the people who started this war and teaching the world that it won't pay to ever start another.
You think that I could help end this war?
Sure. Everybody can do something. The only thing a person can't do is do nothing.
Oh, I guess you think I've been very selfish, Mr. Riley.
Oh, no. No, you've been shut up in this empty house. You just didn't know what was going on. The people I can't understand are the ones who do know and still don't care. Those people live in something worse than an empty house. They live in an empty brain.
Well, I'm not one of them, Mr. Riley. You've given me something to think about. And I'm very grateful.
Oh, well, gee, that's fine. Well, I guess I'll be going. I'm sure glad you ain't no ghost. Of course, I ain't actually scared of ghosts because I know there ain't no ghosts. Are there?
Of course not.
But, you know, Mrs. Sherwin, it is kind of dark out in that garden, isn't it? Would you mind walking me to the gate?
We'll be back in a moment. Well, I think we can all agree with Riley that none of us here at home can sit this war out. The war isn't over in Europe, the war isn't over in the South Pacific, and the war isn't over in America's kitchens. You women who have signed up for the duration to keep help-giving meals on America's tables just can't pick out the meat you want and be sure of getting it every time these days. The needs of war are bound to make the varieties and quantities your meat man has vary from day to day. So let's all make good meals out of whatever meats are on hand. And remember this, all meats, regardless of cut or kind, have the same complete, highest quality, good-eating proteins that make meat a yardstick of protein foods. This statement and all statements regarding the nutritional value of meat made on this program are accepted by the Council on Foods and Nutrition of the American Medical Association.
Hiya, Dumpling. Hey, I got some big news about Halloween.
Yes?
Well, you know, I think I'm going to open up a one-man recruiting outfit. I'm going to recruit waves, wax, spars, and spooks.
Riley, starring William Bendix, next week at this time. This is Ken Niles saying, see you next week. This is the Blue Network.
7:30 KECA, Los Angeles.
The makers of Postum, the favorite mealtime drink in 3 million American homes, present your favorite radio friends, Lum and Abner. What price do you pay for a cup of coffee? If you pay for it with a night of sleepless tossing, a night of wide-eyed staring into the darkness, then perhaps you are one of the many people who suffer from coffee nerves. For while it's true that a great many people can drink coffee without ill effects, many others should never touch it. And if coffee keeps you awake, then you should switch to Postum. For Postum contains no caffeine, no stimulant of any kind which might interfere with your sleep. It's made of whole wheat and bran, skillfully roasted and slightly sweetened. And Postum has such a delightful steaming aroma, such a deliciously tempting flavor that caffeine-containing beverages are quickly forgotten in the enjoyment of this wonderfully different drink. That's why Postum is the favorite mealtime drink today in 3 million American homes. Easy to make and economical, too. Costs less than 1/2 cent a cup. If coffee has been bothering you, get Postum tomorrow. Drink it with your meals and see if you don't sleep like a top. Wake up feeling refreshed and rested. And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Last Monday, Lum and Abner traded Squire Skimp the oil rights on Abner's property for a release from the managerial contract they signed with him last week. They discovered that the contract called for 10% of their earnings for 1 year and not only included a commission from their new picture company, but all other incomes as well. The first scenes for their new picture were taken night before last, and production is temporarily held up awaiting the outcome of their first efforts. As we look in on the little community today, we find Lum and Abner down at the Jot 'em Down store, which is also being used as headquarters for the new motion picture company. Listen.
Yes, I have to laugh every time I think about it.
About what, Lum?
About the way we put it over on Squire.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Granny, that's one time we got the best of him on a deal.
Oh, my, yeah.
And we done it fair and square, too. It was his own proposition.
Oh, yeah, yep. There weren't nothing honest about it. We never beat him out of no money.
No, but we got them contracts back.
Yeah.
He had no business making us sign the contract to manage us, no way.
Not one bit.
If we'd have had to pay him 10% on all the money we make this year, no telling how much he'd run into. I was just figuring it up last night. If we make $1 million out of this moving picture business this year, we'd have to pay him $100,000 out of it.
For the land's sake, well, I never knowed he'd run that high.
Oh, yeah. Getting him contracts back is just the same as you getting $100,000 for giving him the oil rights on that place of yours over there.
I'd have sold him the land and the house and everything for $3,000.
Of course you would. I know. That's what I say. That's where we got the best of it.
Yeah?
Got the contracts back and still got the land, and all he's got is just the oil rights.
I got $100,000 for a lease on my land, huh?
Well, yeah.
I know. Just let me call Elizabeth and tell her about it, love. I never knowed I was getting that money.
Well, wait a minute. Now, you never actually got that much money, but that's what it would amount to if we do make $1 million this year.
Oh.
Yes, sir. That was a pretty slick deal we made there.
Yeah, if you don't ruin the place drilling an oil well right there in the side yard.
No, he'll find out there ain't no oil there. Don't worry. He won't spoil your drinking water.
Well, you told him there was oil there along. He'll more likely be drilling first.
I just told him I heard there was oil on the land of yours. And I did. I heard you say Elizabeth spilled a gallon of coal oil out there in the backyard. I was telling the truth.
Yeah, sure.
He thought he was taking advantage of you, and he never would have come over here and tried to deal you out of it.
Wouldn't, huh?
Thought you never noted. That's sort of like playing checkers when you let the other feller jump one of your men so you can take about 3 of his.
Did you beat him at checkers, too?
No, of course not. I ain't played checkers with Squire.
Well, how did you jump 3 of his men, then?
I say this deal we made was sort of like playing checkers. I let him jump you and get the oil land so that we could get back both of them contracts.
He never jumped me.
Not actual jumped you, Abner. Well, in a way, he did, too.
In a way, he did?
Well, we let him take you to get them contracts.
What in the world are you talking about, Lum? Was I here when he done it?
You were sitting right there when the deal was made.
Yeah, I heard the deal, but I never knowed all that other stuff was going on, taking me and jumping.
Well, I just said it was sort of like playing checkers. If you was a checker, then I'd let him jump you so that I could...
Oh, well, I ain't no checker. I was, I'd let him crown me, make a king out of me.
I'm going to crown you in a minute, but I ain't going to make no king out of you. Abner, you can get yourself worse mixed up than any one fellow I ever seen in my life. You can just thank me for getting you out of that contract with Squire, though, I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah, sure. Thank you.
It's all right. Now we can go right ahead with the picture and not have no worries on our mind at all.
Yeah, you know, I'm anxious to see how them pictures we made over at Sister Simpson's turned out.
Yeah, that's sort of holding up everything. I don't want to use up no more of that film till we see what them persons look like, though.
No. Well, when are you going to get them back, Lum?
Why, they said they'd try to get them back tomorrow.
Tomorrow how?
Had to send them clean up to Fort Smith.
Uh-huh.
Photographer in there at the county seat never know how to develop moving pictures, he said.
No.
Curious to see how we all done. To be right honest, I'm a little juber-shouldered.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah, I was a little disappointed in Sister Simpson and Hortense Brogan. I don't know where I'm going to ever learn them how to act or not.
Well, they's complaining about the way you was acting, too.
Who was? Who was complaining?
Sister Simpson and Hortense.
Well, what do they know about it?
Well, they just said that you bothered them.
Bothered them?
Yeah, said every time that they had something to say to you, why, you started backing up to where they had to turn their backs on the camera to talk to you.
Oh, yeah? They noticed that, huh?
I reckon so.
It shows how much they know about picture acting right there. That's just a little trick of mine. Picture stealing.
Huh?
That's the reason I was making all them funny faces, so the audience will be watching me all the time.
Well, don't you want the audience to see them?
Yeah, but actors got to look out for yourself. Yeah, when I start backing up that way, the audience can't see their faces.
Yeah, well, there once you backed clean out of the room. Couldn't even see you from where the camera was at.
I did, huh?
Why, sure.
And I might have overdid that. Yeah, that must have been that long speech of Sister Simpson's whenever she's telling me I couldn't have the hand of her daughter and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's right, when it was. And you started backing up, and she kept talking, and you kept backing, and finally you just went out of sight.
I'll have to watch that. Back slower on them long speeches.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to know about that there backing up, then. Just wait till I get in it.
Now, don't you start that backing up.
I will, too, if you do. I'll stay right with you. I ain't going to turn my back to no camera if I have to follow you clean out in the yard.
Well, why don't you think up something of your own? I wouldn't have told you about that.
All right, I will. That's just what I'll do, then.
Well, wait a minute. What?
Well, never mind. I ain't saying. But I'm warning you right now, Lum, you better not start making faces and backing up when I'm in that picture. I'll get me some false faces and put on. That's what I'll do.
Well, now, I tell you what we'll do. If it's just me and you in a scene, we'll just draw a line and start right on it. If there's somebody else in it, we'll back up together.
All right, that suits me, but just recollect that now.
Wait a minute, mind out.
Huh?
Here comes Grandpappy Spears. Don't be saying nothing about them fix hours to him.
Oh, no.
Well, come in, Grandpap.
Yeah, howdy, Grandpap.
What in the world's the matter with you fellas? Sitting in your store here and all the excitement are going on around town.
What excitement? Is there far?
Oh, struck oil right there on that place of yours, Abner.
Huh?
Oh, you've been listening to Squire Skim. No, they ain't struck no oil. Don't you worry, Grandpa.
Well, I hadn't heard about it.
Well, they ain't exactly struck it, but it's there.
Oh.
I taken that divining rod of mine over there a while ago, and I never seen it cut up 60 dido.
Did you have that divining rod over there on my property?
Oh, yeah. There's oil there. Don't you worry about that. The whole town's going wild, I tell you. Mose Moots has closed up his barber shop and says he's retiring himself.
Mose?
Yeah, he bought $100 interest from Squire. Oh, Squire selling stock in it? Yeah.
Well.
For goodness sakes. Granny, I believe these fellas around this town would buy anything. Yeah, it is a Mose as hard up as he is. Spend his money on something like that.
Well, I feel like we ought to tell them so they won't be throwing their money away on 60 days.
Wait a minute. Yonder comes Squire now. I think I'll just tell him the whole story. He can't make us straight back now.
Why, no, too late now.
What story is that, Lum? Nothing, Grandpa.
Yeah, look at it. He's more likely to come over here to try to sell us some stock.
Yeah. I turned down a half interest in it when he swapped for the lease. Could have had half of it for nothing.
You say that divining rod cut up a little, Grandpa?
Oh, it might not have jumped out of my hand.
Well?
Watch old Squire try to pan some of that stock off. Come in, Squire.
Well, good afternoon, gentlemen. Good afternoon. How are my old friends today?
Oh, first rate, I reckon. How's yourself, Squire?
Oh, well, naturally, I'm feeling fine, Lum. The happiest day of my life. Abner, I just came over to thank you for selling me the lease on that land of yours.
Now, Squire, if you come over here to try to sell us some stock in that oil company you're getting up, you might just as well stop right now.
Oh, no, Lum. I'm not trying to sell anybody an interest in it. It's off the market. I only wish now that I hadn't sold what little I did. I wish I could get it back. There's no use to just give money away.
What do you mean, Squire?
Well, there's no use to sell stock in something that you know is a cinch, Lum.
No.
But, of course, at the time I sold it, I didn't know what I do now. Oh, naturally, I wouldn't have sold it. No, Lum, I have nothing for sale, not one thing. I just came over and wanted to thank Abner for dumping a fortune right in my lap.
Well, you say you know something there?
Now, listen, Squire. That's my land, and if there's any oil on it, I ought to be in on it.
Abner, a lease is a lease.
I don't care, Dad, blame it. That's my land. I'll take it to court before I stand
Who
back.
was it told you about there being oil on that land in the first place? Grannies, I called you up myself and told you.
I don't want you to give me nothing now, Squire, but I know that you're going to have to sell me an interest in it.
Yes, sir. Grannies, we'll fight you to the high court.
Well, now, wait a minute now. Just a minute, men. Let's don't get excited now. I want to be fair about this thing, and if you feel that I should sell you an interest in the company, and you can count on Squire Skimp doing the fair thing.
Well, good. Good for you, Squire. Knows we could depend on you.
That's mighty nice of you.
Well, now, that's all right. Anything to help my friends at any time. Now, just how much stock do you think that I should let you have? I don't want you to feel that I would take advantage of you in any way at all.
Well, it looks like the deal with Squire Skimp has backfired on the old fellows. When the children break off suddenly in the middle of a game to shush each other, or when your husband makes every little joke with one eye on how you take it, it's certainly time to take yourself over in a corner and talk turkey. Because in many cases, a person's jumpiness, nervousness, and irritability is caused by coffee. For while many people can drink coffee without any ill effects, many others should never touch it. So if you suspect that coffee disagrees with you, switch to Postum. Postum contains no caffeine, no stimulant of any kind. It is made of whole wheat and bran, skillfully roasted and slightly sweetened. Served piping hot and steaming in the cup, Postum has a deliciously tempting flavor that has made it the favorite mealtime drink in 3 million American homes. So if coffee's been keeping you awake, get Postum from your grocer. Drink it at every meal and see if you don't feel better all over. Presents Lum and Abner again next Friday evening, same time. See you then. Lou Crosby speaking. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
The makers of the new Rinso bring you the Amos and Andy Show with their guest tonight, Mr. Charles Coburn. There's plenty of excitement around tonight because radio history is being made. The new Rinso presents the new Amos and Andy Show. Yes, everything brand new. New in the fact that Amos and Andy are doing for the first time a half-hour show. New in that Amos and Andy are playing before an audience, also for the first time. And new in that each week there will be a famous guest. Tonight, Mr. Charles Coburn, whom you have seen in The More the Merrier and Heaven Can Wait. And there's plenty of news about Rinso, too. Try it yourself. I'm sure you'll agree it's absolutely tops. That its soapy rich suds get out more dirt, that in short, it's the ideal soap for wash day, for dishes, and for all the soap and water jobs around the house. Yes, try Rinso. I know you'll join the vast army of women who whistle while they wash. And now, the new soapy rich Rinso presents the new Amos and Andy Show. Well, there's an old saying that no news is good news. That must be true because Andy got news, and it's bad. The news is in the form of a letter which Andy is discussing with the Kingfish and Henry Van Porter in his office now.
Boys, I am really in a mess here.
Brother Andy, you act like he's bad off.
Well, to tell you the truth, Andy, I can't see what is such bad news about a relative coming to visit you from the South.
Listen, Henry, a relative is bad news no matter what direction it comes from. Listen here, fellas. I ain't told you this, but here's the jam I was in. About 6 months ago, I discovered that this uncle of mine that's coming up here tomorrow done cut me out of his will.
Oh, I didn't know that. Now, that's a serious thing.
Yeah. And I found out that the reason he done cut me out is because he thinks I is undisresponsible. You see, boys, my uncle always wanted me to get married and settle down. Well, tell me this, Andy. What has all this got to do with the letter you received from him?
No.
Well, I always been kind of superstitious about being left out of wills. So, about 6 months ago, I done writ my Uncle Edgar, told him I got married, settled down, and I was living in a nice 6-room apartment.
Oh, I'm beginning to get it now.
So, he's going to arrive in New York tomorrow morning on the 9 o'clock train. But the main reason he coming up here is to see some New York doctor specialist about his health. And he going to stay here till Monday.
Tell me this, and after you done with your uncle that you got married and settled down, do you know if he put you back in the will there?
Oh, sure. He slapped me right back in there.
You mean on the regular dotted line in ink, not just out in the margin in pencil?
Listen, I right in the middle of the thing, between them whereases and wherefores and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's the place to be. If you can worm your way in there, there's the place. All right.
Well, Andy, it looks like you've got a lot to lose, all right. Yeah, but I ain't told you the biggest headache, though. My uncle say in the letter that he is planning on staying with me in my 6-room apartment. And then he say that that'll give him a chance to become acquainted with my dear little wife.
When is your uncle coming up here?
Saturday. Why, that's tomorrow.
Wait a minute, Andy. You could be married by tomorrow.
Yeah, I could be wait a minute here. How was I going to meet a gal that quick?
Oh, just stand on the corner and keep whistling.
Now, just a minute, my friends. That sounds a bit hasty. After all, the type of girl that Andy might get from a whistle might not be the type he'd want for the mother of his children.
Now, look here, Henry. When you was whistling for a wife on short notice, you can't be too particular. Like when you go up to the North Woods hunting for moose, and you give up with the moose call. You can't be fussy. You got to take the first moose that comes along.
Yeah, Kingfish, but you got to be a little more particular about a wife. After all, if you don't like a moose, you can shoot it. Anyhow, even if I did get a wife, where was I going to get a 6-room apartment?
Yeah, you in a pickleman all right, and I don't know... Wait a minute. I did hit me in the head, Jeff. Just went in this ear here. Look at it. Amos and his family is going away for the weekend. They won't be back till Monday night. You his partner.
Yes, but what about the wife that Andy's supposed to have?
Well, just tell your uncle that she out of town visiting kinfolk.
Yeah, that sounds good, but... Well, Amos, let me do that.
Well, now, look here. Don't tell him what you're doing. Just tell him that you will stay in the apartment over the weekend, sort of a caretaker.
Come on, Kingfish. Let's me and you go over to see Amos. So you're going away for the weekend, Amos. Sure hope you have a nice time.
Yeah, well, thank you very much.
Tell me, Amos, who is you leaving in charge of the apartment?
Well, I ain't figuring on having nobody here.
How about burglars?
Yeah.
Well, I went away before, and I just locked the place, and nothing was stole.
Oh, maybe the burglars didn't get around to you yet.
Yeah, I guess they're short-handed, just like everybody else.
But you see, fellas...
Amos, look here. These burglars work the thing in alphabet order. Now, you just lucky because your name is Jones. They ain't got down to you yet. And is you here where the burglars is down to now?
Yeah. I heard they was just finishing the letter before J, whatever that is.
Seems to me I heard that, too. They was working on the R's. I remember that.
Tell you the truth, fellas, it might not be a bad idea to have somebody stay in the apartment while we is away, but I just wouldn't know who to get.
Well, Amos, I is your pal, and I'll help you out.
Would you do it, Andy?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Oh, gee, that's nice of you, Andy. We is going to leave at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, so you can come in any time after 9.
Okay, as a deal. I'll check in right after 9 o'clock. So long. Be sure and get out on time.
So long, Amos.
So long, fellas. I'll be back Monday night. See you then.
Well, Andy, this is a great break for us, all right.
Wait a minute. There you go with that us stuff, Kingfish. By any chance, is you helping me because you figuring I might get some money from the will?
Oh, don't be silly, Andy. Never entered my mind. 'Cause at the same time, I know that if anything should happen to your dear uncle, well, I just know that in time of grief, you will want to share your good fortune with your friends.
Well, Uncle Edgar, your train was right on time, and it sure is nice to see you.
Yeah, we're sure glad to see you, Uncle Edgar. You don't mind if I call you Uncle Edgar, too, do you? And you've been telling me so much about you, I kind of feel like I was a close relation of yours.
Well, that's very fine.
Yeah, tell me, Uncle Edgar, how are things down south? You know, the cotton crop, wills, and all that stuff.
Oh, everything's fine. Certainly wasn't nice you boys to come down and meet me at the train here. But, Andy, where's the little woman?
Who?
The little woman, your wife.
Oh, my wife. Yeah, well, Lucy done went over to Pennsylvania to see her mother.
Yeah, that's exactly where she went. You see, Uncle Edgar, when you said little woman, Annie didn't know who you meant, because Lucy's as big as a horse.
Well, I'm certainly anxious to meet her. She's going to be back before I leave, ain't she?
Well, I hope so, Uncle Edgar.
But do you think we better get out of this station here?
Yeah, you're right. I got a boy right here, Uncle Edgar. Take care of your suitcases. Hey, Lightning, come over here.
Oh, I can handle the suitcases all right.
Did you want me now?
These is the suitcases. Deliver them to the apartment like I told you, Lightning.
And by the way, Lightning, this is my Uncle Edgar. This is Lightning.
Young man, I'm glad to meet you.
Pleased to meet you, Uncle Edgar. Are you the man that got the will, ain't you?
What's that again?
Get on with them bags. Don't worry, Uncle Edgar. Everything. Get away from here, Lightning.
Well, Uncle Edgar, how do you feel after taking a shower and changing your clothes?
Oh, I feel a lot better, Andy.
Yeah, sit down there in that stuffed-over chair and take it easy, Uncle Edgar.
Say, Andy, you and your wife are the only ones that live in this apartment here, ain't you?
Yes, Uncle Edgar. This is our own little love nest. Just the two of us. Me and her.
Well, what is all them toys there in the closet of my room?
What toys?
You mean you don't know what toys is back there?
Well, you see, I play with so many toys, I didn't know which ones you meant.
Well, there's some dolls back there, too.
Oh, don't be silly, Uncle Edgar. I ain't played with dolls for over a year.
Say, Andy, who is the picture of this man here on the table?
Which picture you mean?
The only picture that's there.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, don't look at me. It's been Uncle Edgar.
I see it's inscribed on there, to my loving wife from Amos.
Oh, that. Oh, yeah. Well, that's my wife's first husband. Yeah.
Well, what in the world do you have to have his picture around here?
Well, I tell you, Uncle Edgar, it keeps reminding my wife of him and makes her appreciate me more.
Yeah, that's right, Uncle Edgar. That's certainly right. You know, Uncle Edgar, there's nothing like holding a first husband over a wife's head.
By the way, Andy, you know I want to see one of these New York doctors. You might ask around of your friends and see if they know a good one.
Yeah, but you take it easy, Uncle Edgar, and enjoy yourself for the weekend here.
I'm going to tell you, Andy, you sure got a nice place here. Mm-hmm. And I was just thinking, I don't have to break my neck to get back home. You fellas have been so nice to me, I think I'll change my plans and stay here a couple of weeks.
A couple of weeks?
Yeah. I know that would make you happy. What's the matter, boys?
You have made us so happy that we are speechless.
Well, folks, remember I said this would be a new kind of show for Amos and Andy, and I hope you're having as good a time as the folks here are having. Now, I mentioned a little earlier that millions of women these days are whistling while they wash, and the notes they're whistling are... That stands for Rinso White, 3 little notes that have been making wash day history. Yes, Rinso has taken the drudgery out of wash day. Those soapy, rich suds have made it possible for women to turn out a dazzling white, bright wash without hard scrubbing or boiling, simply by soaking clothes clean. A few quick finger rubs on badly soiled places, and clothes are ready to rinse. Yes, new Rinso gets out more dirt. And women are whistling while they wash dishes, too, in Rinso suds. It makes the job so speedy. And that goes for washing floors, windows, tiles, and so forth. So tomorrow, get Rinso. Then you'll whistle, and you'll see how much easier life can be. Now, back to Amos and Andy and their guest tonight, Charles Coburn. Well, Uncle Edgar certainly threw a monkey wrench in the machinery when he announced that he had decided to stay 2 weeks. Andy and the Kingfish are plenty worried.
Kingfish, we is really in a mess now. Mm-hmm. Amos coming home Monday, and Uncle Edgar say he's going to be here for 2 weeks.
Andy, listen, I got an idea. Look here, when your uncle wakes up from the nap he's taking, we'll take him up the doctor's road. You know that's where the alley lawyer has got his office?
Oh, yeah.
I think up around there we'll find a doctor that will see eye to eye with us.
Yeah, but we want to get a big doctor with a good reputation to examine my uncle.
Yeah, well, we'll get a good one all right, but I think that for a small extra charge, we can get a doctor to tell Uncle Edgar that this climate up north here is bad for his health and that he has got to get right back down south now at once.
Yeah, well, how is we going to work it?
We'll leave Uncle Edgar out in the waiting room at the doctor's office, and we'll go in the doctor's private office and talk to him first.
Oh, I think I see what you mean.
Hello?
Is this Dr. Charles Coburn, the veterinarian?
That's right, I'm the veterinarian.
This is Mrs. Stanley Watson. I called up to find out how my Cocker Spaniel was coming along.
He's doing nicely, Mrs. Watson. His front paw is still a little sore, but we ought to have him out of here in a few days.
Oh, thank you very much, Doctor. Goodbye.
Come in.
Excuse us, but is you Dr. Charles Coburn?
That's right.
Good, yeah. Well, we see your name on the door outside, and we're looking for a doctor.
Tell me, do you have the patient with you?
He's out in the waiting room, yeah, so we want to talk to you first.
Is he chained up?
Chained up? Oh, no, he ain't dangerous.
Well, why don't you bring him in the office here?
Well, that's what we want to tell you. You see, Doctor, we don't want him to hear what we're going to tell you.
Oh. You don't want him to hear. No. That's pretty good. I've heard some of them are very clever, but I've never heard of one that could understand medical terms.
Well, the truth is, he ain't been feeling well lately, and he asked us to take him to a doctor, you see.
Before we go any further, gentlemen, are you sure that you are feeling all right?
Oh, sure. Yes, sir. We feel all right.
Well, tell me exactly what's wrong with the patient. I'm a busy man.
Well, doctor, to tell you the truth, we don't know exactly what's wrong with it.
Well, the only thing to do then is to strap him here on this table, and I'll give him a thorough examination.
Strap him? I don't think he's going to like that.
Oh, that's all right. We'll put a muzzle on him.
Now, wait a minute. We can go just so far with him, you know.
Yeah, we can't make him mad because he's worth a lot of money.
Now, listen to me. A dog is a dog. If I can help him, I'll be very happy to do so.
Excuse me for protruding, Doctor, but my right ear been giving me a little trouble here lately. Did you say dog?
Is you a dog doctor by any chance?
Certainly. What do you think?
Well, I didn't know what to think when you say you're going to put a muzzle on my uncle.
Oh, your uncle is out there.
Yeah.
I see. You thought I was a regular MD. No, I take care of dogs, cats, horses, all kinds of animals. I've got a little hospital out here in the back.
Oh, well, now, doctor, as long as we is here, maybe you could help us out anyhow.
Yes. What we'd like you to do in your professional capacity, it's exactly wrong, it's exactly right, kind of in between there.
And being in between, we willing to pay extra for it.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, if you think that I, as a respected member of the medical profession, would do even one small thing to jeopardize my fine reputation and standing in this community. If you think that I would stoop to a thing of this kind, if you think that I would do anything contrary to my standards in exchange for what amounts to little more than a bribe, then you've come to the right place.
Yeah, man, that's great. That's great. Now, look at here. Here's what we want you to do. We want you to convince my uncle that this northern climate is bad for him, and even one more day of it might be fatal, and he has got to go right back down south.
Yeah, so we don't care what you tell him. We just want to make sure that he leaves town by the night.
It's as good as done, my friends. But in our haste, let us not forget the cash, $10.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You might put it in that drawer right there. I don't touch money like that.
Okay, Doc, okay. I'll have my uncle come right in.
Yeah, get him... wait a minute. Hide them dog biscuits over there on the table.
Okay, Uncle Edgar, come on in. The doctor's ready for you. This is the famous specialist that I done told you about.
How do you do, Doctor?
How do you do? If you sit right down here, open your mouth. Now tell me, how have you been feeling?
Well, frankly, this afternoon I've been feeling pretty well.
That's a bad symptom. Yes, that's the trouble with your particular ailment. You always feel better first.
Well, what is it that's wrong with me, Doctor?
Well, the medical term is northern-itis.
Doctor, no. Anything but that.
Yes, I'm sorry to hear that, Doctor.
Now, Doctor, just what is this northern-itis?
Well, you come to me as a patient, and I guess it's my duty to tell you the truth. Northern-itis is a condition that is brought on by an atmospheric change, a change of pressure that crushes the cells of the nervous system.
Naturally, yeah.
That's what makes you feel like you do now.
But I feel very good now.
No, that's nothing. That will go away.
Well, tell us this, Doctor. What is the cure for this thing?
Your uncle must go back down south. Of course, there's no real hurry about it. Nothing to get alarmed about.
Doctor, but when do you think I should leave for the south?
No, there's no tremendous rush about it. Any time within the next hour.
Yeah, well, we better leave right away, Uncle Edgar, before you start foaming at the mouth. Come on, we'll go right down to depot and get your ticket.
You mean to say that
Yeah, come on, Uncle Edgar. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, we ain't got no time to waste. Well, so long, Doctor.
Oh, what was that?
That's one of my patients. I mean...
One of your patients?
Got a nasty cough, hasn't he?
Goodbye, boy.
Well, Uncle Edgar, you has done got the best medical advice you could have got in the whole city.
Oh, there ain't no two ways about it. He's a great doctor.
Yeah, he seems to be a very good doctor. And I'm going to take his advice and return to the south. But there's one thing, Andy.
What's that?
I've made up my mind not to leave town here until I've met your dear little wife.
Yeah.
Now, did the theatrical agency tell you exactly what you were supposed to do?
Yes. I'm supposed to play the part of a man's wife, and you're going to pay me $3 for it.
Right. You is going to play that you is my wife, Lucy. Now, the main thing is to try to do as little talking as you can so you ain't going to get yourself caught in no booby trap.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we're all set now, Andy.
Okay. Uncle Edgar, Lucy is back.
Now, remember everything we told you, Lucy.
Well. So, this is Lucy.
Yes, sir, Lucy. I was married to this gentleman here.
Yes, I know. Yeah, I know that, but tell me this, Lucy. How long have you been married?
Well, we've been married exactly 1 year.
Well, wait a minute. It seems to me you said something to me, Andy, about being married 6 months.
I thought it was about a year.
Well, you see, Uncle Edgar, the time passes fast for me and slow for her. Well, Uncle Edgar, you done seen Lucy now. Guess we better shoot right down to depot, huh?
Well, I haven't had a chance to get acquainted with Lucy yet.
That's right. Don't rush us, Mr. Brown.
Mr. Brown? And after being married 6 months, you don't make your wife call you Mr. Brown, do you?
Well, I tell you, Uncle Edgar, till I've been married a year, I demands respect.
Oh, yeah, you got to keep these women in the place, all right.
Yeah, I tell you, Uncle Edgar. Uh-oh.
Well, how is it there, Andy? Say, what is going on here?
Amos, you ain't supposed to be back here till tomorrow.
Yeah, well, I got a chance to ride down with some people, and I thought I'd do it. I'd like to meet your friends here, Andy.
Go ahead, Amos. Andy, introduce them there. Go on, mess them up there.
Yeah, but, now, Amos, this is my Uncle Edgar here.
Oh, how do you do?
Yeah, pleased to meet you. My name is Jones.
Yeah, and now this is, well, that's my Uncle Edgar right there. Uncle Edgar.
I ain't met the girl yet, Andy.
My name is Lucy. I'm the wife of this gentleman here. I think his name is Andy.
Why, Andy, you didn't tell me.
Yeah, no, Amos, I know it, but look, there's something I do want to tell you right now. Come on, Amos. You too, Kingfish. Let's go out someplace where we can talk. Uncle Edgar, you stay here, and this will give you a chance to get better acquainted with Lucy. So, Amos, that's the whole story in a nutshell.
Yes, Amos, the only reason that Andy done it was so that his uncle would keep him in his will.
That's some story you got there, all right. You certainly can get yourself messed up, Andy.
Yeah. What is I going to do, Amos?
There's only one thing you can do. Tell your uncle the truth. I think he'll appreciate it and appreciate you being honest with him, because he's bound to find out sooner or later.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, me. Boys, I'm going out and take a walk in the park so I can get up my nerve. Come on, Kingfish, let's go in. I'm going to tell him the truth.
Okay, open the door.
Well, Andy, Kingfish, you finally got back. Where have you been all day?
Where's Lucy?
Oh, she's in the kitchen.
Well, in the kitchen?
Uncle Edgar, there comes a time in a man's life when he got to do something that he don't like to do, but I got to do it.
Oh, what is it, Andy?
Well, Uncle Edgar, I'm going to confess something to you. This ain't my apartment, and Lucy ain't my wife. The only reason that I done told you all this was so I could stay in your will. But I wouldn't blame you now if you throwed me out.
I understand, Andy.
But I ain't going to cause you no more trouble, Uncle Edgar. Where's that sappy little theatrical actress who's supposed to be my wife? I'll pay her the $3 and chase her out here right away, so at least she ain't going to be bothered with her.
Andy, please. You speaking of my future wife.
Your future what?
My future wife. I found out right after you left this morning that she was only playing the part of your wife. We'll spend all day getting acquainted. She's a fine cook and a good-looking girl. We're getting married right away and leaving on the first train for Georgia.
Well, congratulations and all that stuff, Uncle Edgar. I'll be glad to go to the depot with you and see you off. You know, carry the grips for you, carry your will, anything you want me to carry.
Yeah, congratulations, Uncle Edgar. But, say, there's just one thing that I'd like to clear up before you leave.
Well, what's that?
Well, now that Lucy is going to be my aunt instead of my wife, does I have to pay her the $3 or does you pay her?
Ladies and gentlemen, Amos and Andy would like to say a few words to their listeners.
Hello, folks.
Hello, everybody.
Well, we hope you enjoyed our first show. As you know, this is the beginning of our new half-hour series.
And we want to thank Mr. Charles Coburn for his kindness in working with us tonight.
We wouldn't feel right to let this first show pass without saying a word about our sponsors, makers of the new Rinso.
Of course, we have heard of Rinso and its splendid reputation. And not long ago, we asked for permission to visit the plant and see Rinso being made.
We saw it being made with our own eyes, and that is why we are so enthusiastic about the product we advertise. In thinking back over our trip through the Rinso plant, it seems that we went through dozens of laboratories, and believe us, the reason for the high quality of Rinso is no accident. We can truthfully tell you great care is taken to give Rinso the top quality which it has. And we earnestly feel that you, too, will recognize this and be glad you are using this wonderful product.
You folks were nice to listen to us tonight. And we're looking forward to being back with you next Friday night at the same time. Thank you again.
And don't forget, folks, when you think of Amos and Andy, think of Rinso. Thank you and good night.
Be with us again next Friday night at this same hour when the makers of the new Rinso again present the Amos and Andy Show. And when Amos and Andy's guest will be the talented pianist, Jose Iturbe. This is Harlow Wilcox bidding you good night for all of us.
Good morning, Sir John. Good morning, indeed.
Anything gone wrong, Sir John?
Gone wrong? Young man, I was born right here in London. I've been living here at the Savoy Hotel for 15 years. Now, would you mind telling me since when it has become the custom for guests to roller skate up and down the hall at 3 o'clock in the morning?
I'm most awfully sorry, Sir John. We don't know what to do with that Gracie Allen. A bit balmy, you know. We've taken away her bicycle. Oh, dear. Are you there? Room clerk speaking. Yes? Who? Miss Gracie Allen? Yes. Oh, you're leaving for America this afternoon. Very well. I'll send a boy right up for your luggage. Thank you. Bellboy.
Yes, sir.
Go up to Miss Allen's room, 320, and get her luggage. She's leaving for America.
Oh, room clerk, get one of the other bellboys to go up.
Hey?
Every time I go up to her room, she gets angry because I won't give her a tip.
Oh, go on, boy, and hurry.
Oh.
She's really leaving for America? Mr. Sinelli,
yes?
That girl with the skates, that Gracie Allen, she's leaving for America.
Oh, Miss Douglas?
Yes?
That Bonnie Gracie Allen is leaving for America.
Oh, Cynthia, darling, that crazy Gracie Allen is leaving for America.
Oh, I'm awfully glad.
Lord. Don't turn. She's just coming out of the lift now.
Gracie, before we left home, I told you were the silliest girl in America, but I want to apologize.
Oh, you don't love us anymore.
Now that I've traveled all over Europe, I've changed my mind. You're not the silliest girl in America. You are the silliest girl in the whole world.
Oh, Judgy Podgy, I bet you tell that to all the girls.
White Owl Cigars present
Well, Gracie, here we are at the dock. Here, you pay the cabbie and I'll take care of the luggage. Porter! Will you get those bags and follow me?
The cab there will be 3 and 6pence, big miss.
Here's a £20 note.
A £20 note, miss? Haven't you got any small change?
Oh, yeah, here's some small change, too.
Oh, thank you, miss.
Thank you.
Gracie, come on.
Oh, wait a minute, George. I just want to take one more look at my native land.
Your native land? You were born and raised in America.
Oh, yeah, isn't America wonderful? They raise me, and they raise corn, and they raise wheat, and oh, hooray for America! There's something about a soldier.
Come on, follow the porter.
Walk this way, miss.
Gracie, why are you limping?
Hey, I've got a limp. The porter said walk this way, and this is the way the porter walks. Hippity-hop, hippity-hop.
Turn to Gracie Ellen. I'm the London Times. I like a statement. What do you think of the British Empire?
Empire? Oh, we don't know, mister. We haven't seen any of your baseball games, but maybe
Gracie, the man means empire, not umpire.
Well, that isn't my fault if he has an impediment in his feet.
Oh, you see, Miss Ellen, we don't play baseball here in England. Our big game is cricket.
Well, I'm certainly glad we didn't go big game hunting.
Big game hunting?
Well, Maggie's shooting a little cricket with a great big gun.
Listen, the kind of cricket...
Yeah, I know. You don't even need a great big gun to shoot a cricket. You just lie in the thicket and you see a cricket and you're cricket.
Goodbye and good luck.
Oh, tip-tip, chitty-o, toodaloo, 23 skidoo, and you said something when you said dipsy. Hey, hey.
Gracie, it's a matter of days before you'll finish up in a nut factory.
Oh, well, George, how much are they paying an hour now?
20 cents.
Oh, there's another silly man. He's hiring all aboard. Oh, we know they're not all aboard because they're not on the boat yet. Oh, look, George. Look at that big thing pulling that automobile up over the water. Well, they certainly do things backward here in England. Now, in America, we put the water in the automobile. And here they put the automobile in the water.
Gracie, they're not putting the automobile in the water.
Oh, no?
They're putting it on the boat. Somebody is taking their automobile to America.
Well, that certainly is ridiculous.
Ridiculous?
Well, yeah, that certainly is ridiculous. Imagine trying to drive an automobile to America. Oh, you wouldn't catch me driving a car across the ocean unless I was sure the tires didn't leak. And then another
Well,
thing.
all right, don't worry about it. If you did drive an automobile across the ocean, about every mile you would probably find a service station.
Oh, well, I'm not worried about that. What I'm worried about is there's no hot dog stand.
Hot dog stand?
Yeah, my dog Herman loves hot dogs. And I love my dog Herman. And, George, if you love somebody and that somebody loves hot dogs, you'll drive farther for a hot dog than you would for a service station. Or would you?
Gracie, your dog Herman is not with us.
Oh, well, then let's take a boat.
Yeah, let's take the boat.
Sorry, madam, but you'll have to hurry because this boat goes to America in 5 minutes.
Oh, now that's what I call speed. A big boat like this going to America in 5 minutes. That's a
Come on, Gracie, there's the whistle.
Well, all I have to say is it's a pretty terrible whistle. I can't even tell what food it's whistling.
Gracie, it's whistling for passengers.
Well, that's a funny way to get passengers. Why don't they advertise in the newspapers like the other steamship lines? Let them keep on whistling for passengers that way, and they'll finish up by selling peanuts. You said it.
I said it. I didn't say anything.
Well, then talk a little louder. I can hardly hear you.
Come on, hurry up and run up the gangplank. Oh, boy, well, we finally made it. Gracie, look, they're taking in the gangplank. I guess everybody is aboard.
Oh, well, then I better tell the captain, huh? Hey, Captain, all aboard!
Quiet. Quiet. Well, Gracie, now we're safe on board. Let me have my money back.
What money?
What money? I gave you 40 pounds to hold for me.
Oh, yes. Well, I gave the taxi driver 20 pounds. I've got 20 pounds left.
20 pounds?
Yeah.
Gracie, 20 pounds is $100. You gave the taxi driver $100.
Yeah, and some change, too.
Change, too. Gracie, while you're at it, why don't you throw the other $100 overboard?
Oh, well, George, I think it's a silly thing to do, but it's your money, so here goes. Whee!
Someplace, there must be someone who could do something to stop the silly chatter that goes on for days and days and Gracie, isn't this a perfect night to be walking around on deck?
Oh, yes, George. A beautiful boat, a full moon, and the stars, and the calm of the ocean. Oh, I could get romantic if I only had somebody to miss. And really, George, there's nobody in the world I'd rather miss than you.
Thanks. It's little things like that make me the happiest boy in the world.
Oh, Georgie, will you do me a favor? As we're walking around the deck, will you take deep breaths for my daddy?
Take deep breaths for your daddy?
Yes, because the doctor said Daddy needs the sea air. It'll do him a world of good, but he couldn't afford to take this big trip, you know.
Well, all right. If you'll just keep quiet, I'll take deep breaths for your daddy.
But you'll have to walk slower. You know, Daddy can't walk fast.
But, Gracie, supposing I get seasick.
Well, and you can do that for my brother. It'll do him a world of good.
I hope so.
Good evening. We're both headed for America. See you again next time round the deck.
Yes.
Oh, she's awfully silly. We're both headed for America, and she's walking in one direction and we're walking in another.
Gracie, I'm still taking deep breaths for your daddy.
Oh, thanks, Pop. You're looking better already.
Gracie, why don't you walk along the edge of the boat? You might get sleepy and drop off, I hope.
Oh, a moonlight night and these compliments. If I didn't know you, I'd think you were a gigolo. Georgie, would you like to kiss my little hand, madame?
A little later.
Oh, say, mister, stop pushing that little poodle around on the wooden leaf.
Gracie, that's a sailor. He's mopping the deck. That's not a poodle.
Oh, I mean the poodle of water that he's pushing around.
Oh, well.
Good evening, sir.
Kind of busy, eh, sailor?
Oui, monsieur. I will be working all night tonight. I will probably use up 4 or 5 mops.
Say, sailor, I know a mop you won't use up. That's Mae West mop.
Mae West mop?
Yeah, why don't you come up and see me sometime?
Come on, Gracie.
Oh, that says he was an old-fashioned sailor. He wore bell-bottom pants.
Gracie, do me a favor and do very little talking. Here comes the captain of the ship.
Oh, where? Oh, do I need to... I'm dying to meet him. You know, I heard somebody say today the captain was forward. And with a forward captain and a moonlight night, he might kiss my little hand, madame, huh?
Good evening, Mr. Burns. Good evening, Miss Allen.
Good evening.
Hello, Captain. You've certainly got a lovely boat.
Oh, but yes, the Ile de France is a fine boat.
Oh, looky, the Ile de France have puppies.
Puppies?
They're hanging alongside of the rail. And their ears are sticking out.
Gracie, those are not puppies. Those are lifeboats.
Miss Allen, those are not ears. They are oars. There are 24 oars in every boat.
Well, that's nothing. There's 24 oars in every day, and I'm not worrying about that either.
Yeah, Gracie, excepting February, which has 28.
Oh, that was very funny, George. Go ahead, Captain. Now it's your turn to talk.
Look, Captain, don't mind her. The moon has been beating down on her head for the last 2 hours.
Oh?
Say, Captain, what is that way out there? A sailboat?
No. That is an iceberg.
Look at how high the thing is rising.
Oh, I heard that on the radio, the rise of the iceberg. Hey, Molly, how is Mrs. Bloom?
Quiet. Come on, Captain. Well, come on, Gracie. Captain, we'll see you later.
No. If you do not mind, I'd like to walk right along with you. I do not want to miss a word of it. 8 o'clock and all is well.
Oh, George, there's big foolish talk. He says the 8 o'clock and all is well.
No, Miss Allen, he means all is well on the boat.
Oh, Captain, he's wrong. All are well on the boat.
All right, Gracie. All are well on the boat.
All are not well on the boat. I don't feel so well, and nobody can tell me that fellow who ate a clock feels good either. And, Captain, you look kind of sick yourself.
Gracie. Well, after that, I think we all need a little drink. Let us go into the bar. Some of the passengers are having a little entertainment.
Oh, is that good?
Wait a minute. Here's the captain. Speak! Although I cannot make a speech, but I will tell you, I have George Burns and Gracie Allen with me. And I saw them a few days ago at the Palladium in London, and if you coax them, maybe they will sing a song.
Thank you very much. Say, boys, do you know Yankee Doodle Blues?
Boys, play the middle part loud, because that's where George always goes flat.
Say, here's a word I want to say.
I'm not as good as Tom.
Say, have you ever been away?
Oh, sent the Rudy Valley.
Have you ever missed the hero USA?
Gone to Rudy Valley.
When you get that itching in your shoes,
You better try a cough drop.
go to any other land you choose
Keep singing, Dixie.
and see how pretty that Yankee Doodle blues. I'm singing, there's no land as grand as my land, from California to Manhattan Island, north, south, that sunny skyline. Oh, I love every mile. They're playing Yankee Doodle, that melody that keeps ringing in my ears. Yankee Doodle, that's the melody, makes you stand right up and cheer. I'm coming, USA. I'll say I love you, make me lose those Yankee Doodle blues.
They say that Europe is wonderful with all that ancient junk. Well, it's not as good as Kokomo, and Kokomo's a bunk. I couldn't see old London, it was covered by a fog. I had to move from Paris, cause I couldn't meet a fog. From there I went to Old Cologne and started on the round. But Old Cologne don't smell as sweet and pretty as it sounds. A Russian Bolsheviki tried to get my sound. And then I wore my welcome out, but riding on me out.
Hello, Miss Liberty, I'll say you're a fair.
And then the customer officer said to me, why do you declare I am
Yankee Doodle? That melody keeps on ringing in my ears.
Yankee Doodle.
That's the melody makes you stand right up and cheer homecoming.
USA night and day, I'll always say, it's my brother again. I love you. Let me lose some candy, you. Let me lose some candy, you.
The next time you want a really fine smoke, try a vintage cigar. A vintage white.
Hey, Ghosty! Ghosty! Ghosty!
Oh, Joe, there's Joe. Joe, say Joe.
Tracy, what Joe?
Oh, Joe.
Call Joe.
Yeah, well, that's what happened to him. I've been calling Joe for 10 minutes, Joe. Now you call Joe.
Listen.
Joe! Hey, Miss, what the heck? Push that man with the umbrella.
Gracie, Gracie, is that the fellow down there, the tall fellow?
Yeah.
The one with the fat to it?
Yeah. Hey, Miss.
Well, all right, Gracie, I'll call him. Joe! Joe! Hey, Joe! Gracie, did you send Joe a cable telling him that we arrived today?
No. Hey, Joe!
Well, wait a minute. Well, then how do you know he's Joe?
I don't know.
Well, what are we hollering about?
Well, I don't know, but everybody else is hollering, and I thought if we didn't holler, it would be embarrassing. Don't you think so? Hey, Joe!
Quiet, quiet.
Ghosty! Ghosty!
Quiet! Well, there's the danger. Well, come on, Gracie, let's get off. Just follow me. Just push through the south. Just hold on to my coat here. Well, here we are. Do you see our trunks anyplace? Pardon me, miss. I'm the United States Customs man. Are you ready to unpack your trunk?
Well, I never heard such a silly question in my life. I'm not going to unpack until I get home.
Miss, I have to look through your trunk. What's your name?
Well, look through my trunk?
Yes, Gracie. Tell him your name. He looks through your trunk and sees what's in it.
Well, my trunk is locked, but if he can look through my trunk and see what's in it, he certainly ought to be able to guess my name.
Listen.
Oh, that's a good trick, mister. And if you can do it, then I'll show you the one with 2 decks of cards.
Gracie, why don't you do a trick where you stick your little blue hat in the neck of a bottle and don't take it off?
Oh, well, that's one of my old tricks.
Miss, I'd like to see what you brought back from Europe.
Well, you don't have to bother. I didn't bring back anything for you.
Huh?
But imagine that, George. I never met that man in my life, and he thinks I brought him back a present from Europe.
Gracie, the government only allows you $100.
Oh, well, then why doesn't he give it to me and let me go?
Look, miss, did you buy any gowns from Paris?
Oh, of course, several of them.
May I see them, please?
Oh, I know you'll love just one of them. It's a black lace with a low back, sort of a dance frock. But I wouldn't think of letting you see me until I get my hair fixed. Have you got a mirror around?
See, the officer isn't interested in seeing how you look in the gowns. All he wants to see are the gowns.
Oh, well, it certainly takes all kinds of people to make a world. Can you imagine a big man like that interested in gowns?
Miss, did you bring back any perfume?
See, what did I tell you, George? He even likes perfume.
Gracie, there's a heavy duty on French perfumes, and if you brought any back, you'll have to pay a tax on it.
Oh, well, in that case, I didn't bring any.
Well, I'm sorry to say, miss, but I smell Christmas night.
What did you say, George?
He said he smells Christmas night.
Well, if I were in his place, I wouldn't brag about it.
Gracie. Uh-huh. I see you're wearing a mink coat. Miss, where did that mink come from?
Where did that mink come from? Little mink. Where does the pet coat come from? Little Petches.
Officer, we just located Miss Ellen's trunk. We found it under the war.
Under the what?
War!
Well, you don't have to bark at me. Just talk. I understand you. Why don't you say something to him, George?
Will you keep quiet?
Oh, thanks, my hero.
Now, Miss Allen, if you just open your trunk, I'll get you out in no time.
Oh, well, George, this fellow's even better than Houdini. Houdini could only get you out of the trunk when you were in it. But this fellow says he'll open my trunk and get me out in no time, and I'm not even in it. Or am I?
Gracie, will you shut your mouth and open your trunk?
All right, now let's see. Where did I put the key? Oh, it isn't in my bag. It isn't in my pocket. Oh, I know where it is. But, George, you'll have to go and get it for me.
All right. Are you sure you know where it is?
I know just where I put it.
Well, Gracie, where did you leave it?
In the left-hand bureau drawer in that hotel in Paris.
In Paris?
Yeah.
Somewhere, someplace, there must be someone who can do something to stop the silly chatter that goes on for days. Next Wednesday at the same time, the makers of Vintage White Owl cigars will bring you another adventure of Gracie with Bobby Dolan and his White Owl Orchestra and George Burns and Gracie Allen. And in the meantime, look for the vintage white on the box. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.